Dude, welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 164. I'm Alex. And there's Addie, who didn't interrupt me this time. And there's also Pink. Oh, God. Okay, Discord filtered most of what you said, so all I heard was, eh! And that was it.
I mean, kinda. Sort of what I said, yeah.
All right. So, Pink, what you got booked up with the channel this week? Yeah. Well, I open up a door
nothing
with
to
the
my
code.
knowledge, but I can definitely try to get something going. I just have
Okay.
to actually get my butt into gear.
It can be rough when you get in a rut of not recording to suddenly be like, oh, recordings should be something I do.
Yeah. I have these random spurts where I'll be like, hey, I
Yeah.
feel like recording. And I'll spend like 2 days doing nonstop recording. Then I'm like, hey, I want to record today. Then I don't. And then
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Sometimes the fit of inspiration hits you, and I'm like, I'm gonna record this, I'm gonna record that, I'm gonna record everything. And then
Yeah.
some days you're like, fuck, I do not feel like it.
I mean, my favorite is when it happens at the same time. But when I'm having a day, because it seems freaking random. Which are the days when I'm feeling fine, and which are the days when I'm having a freaking panic attack. So sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to record something today. Also, in the meantime, I'm like in the background, I'm having this freaking breakdown over, oh shit, what the hell's gonna go wrong? So I couldn't actually do a video. I have been meaning to record a freaking playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima for like 3 months, dude. Dudes, I never used that.
My dudes.
Yeah, my dudes.
My dudes.
I don't know why you don't say dudes more. I say it all the time. I'd figure it'd infect you as well.
I guess it did, finally.
Like, there's gonna come a point where eventually, like, you guys pick up all my fucking shitty southernisms, even though I'm from the north.
Yeah, there's gonna be a point where literally all the only thing that sets the three of us apart in commentary is just like the tone of the voice.
Yeah.
It's all the same commentary at the same time, speaking in unison.
Yes, I like the sound of that.
One mind that comes in 3 different flavors: enthusiastic, depressed, and belligerent.
I don't know. It depends on how I shake out. Depressed might just become furry, which probably worse.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
honestly,
it would be better for me. Probably not for the viewers.
I think I'd rather be furry than be depressed.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah, continue.
Oh, right. It's Pink's time. So, Pink, if you were to record anything this coming week, what would you record?
Oh, I definitely want to get back into recording Guilty Gear, and I want to actually record a playthrough. Well, not really a playthrough, but I don't know what you call it. I want to record Stronghold Crusader. I started my Stronghold series several years ago, back when I was having microphone issues, and that's why it never got completed. And I don't really feel like going back to that, because I kind of got to the halfway point, and that's when my microphone crapped out on me, and I wasn't able to remedy the situation at the time. But now I do have it fixed, but I don't want to go back to doing that, which I more or less ended all those years ago. I'd rather do Crusader, which was the end game from day one. So why should I waste my time trying to complete a series that, being honest with myself, nobody's going to watch anyway? I would much rather just skip ahead to what I actually want to do. So that's probably what I have in store in the future, either this week or these coming weeks, because I definitely want to start doing that.
All right.
Aside from that, I don't think there's anything else. I had considered doing an England playthrough, because there's in Civ 6, there's an achievement for settling a city on every continent on a huge or large map. I don't remember which. And I wanted
settling
to do
would be rough.
A playthrough. Yeah, I just wanted to do a playthrough of, hey, let's get a city on every continent that we can on this huge map. Get our achievement, win, lose, or draw, whatever. It doesn't matter. There is no win condition. The only win condition is getting that achievement. So That's something I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to do it because a huge map, that's gonna be a lot of time put into
Yeah,
that.
and you're gonna have to do a lot of raising
Yep. Yep.
because you're gonna be by the year 1500, you go across the ocean. It's like, oh, this entire continent is already covered in Congolese cities. Now, time
Right.
for some war crimes.
I think an easy way to do it, if possible, would be choose a huge Pangea map and just go into domination. But you might have to settle the cities yourself, which I don't know. I haven't tried it. So,
I would Google that before I start the playthrough.
absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
I've run into problems like that before. By the way, do I sound normal? Because on OBS it looks like I'm getting the audio is just blowing its ass out for me.
You sound
You
normal, I'd
sound
say,
normal to
but
me.
you might want to check if you have the whatchamacallit, bloody hell, let me boot up OBS so I can check the freaking filter's name.
Well,
The
it looks
gating.
like OBS. It looks like OBS has just updated its visuals. But I don't remember the last time I updated OBS. But I've recorded several videos in the past few days with this setup, so it's probably fine. We're gonna keep going. I'm not gonna cut the recording here to go and check.
All right. I mean, the thing with OBS though is that you don't even need to cut the recording to check. We can keep doing the recording and then you can change the settings on the fly. It will change. Because it was
Yeah,
made
but
for
I don't.
streaming.
Yeah, but I don't know whether it's actually blowing the mic out or not.
Yeah. I mean, is it going into the red?
Yeah, but it always goes in the red.
Ah.
If it doesn't go in the red, then people can't hear you.
This is true.
I don't know why that is, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is gating.
Yeah, it gates pretty hard. It gates pretty hard, which is fine because it's not. It's definitely not hitting the top. I've got it where it just gates at a certain point.
Yeah.
It's
That's
definitely
fine
not.
then.
It's definitely just short of that. What was I going to say? All right, Addy, do you plan on releasing anything on your channels this week?
I don't think so. As I've said, I've been meaning to actually record something. By the way, you can tell that I'm getting better by the fact that I'm freaking. I'm more likely to speak like a whiny bitch intonation, but I've noticed it.
They call that the whiny bitch stage of confidence.
Yes. I mean, I don't know what else.
I'm very familiar with that stage.
I don't know what else to call it
Well
because
done.
I keep entering the upper register too hard. It sounds bad. Anyway.
Oh, I enter the upper register all the time just when I'm fucking around. You know that.
Yeah. But yeah. So like as I said, I keep wanting to record something, but usually when I want to record something, I either don't have the time because reasons that people live around me, even though I don't.
Yeah.
So you know. And when
Oh,
I
hey, it's
do,
the sounds of construction outside. Gee, I wonder. That kind of thing.
I mean, no, it's
Of
when I
all the
just
times for the government to get this work done.
I wish it was the government and not the freaking the neighbor living under me.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they start drilling at the weirdest times too. Like they freaking 6 a.m. and then like 8, not even 8. It was like 11 p.m. Sure,
Yeah,
why not?
that's pretty terrible.
But also people are living around me, and like those people have to work, and I don't. And so so it's better if I don't start yelling while they're sleeping, you know?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's things like that. And when I would have time and people are working and shit like that, usually that's when I get real bad with the depression and the anxiety and shit. Because hey, why would I want to freaking why should accepting myself be easy? Make it as hard as possible, eh? The worst part is though of that is that literally everyone that I've told about this whole shebang has been supportive. It's literally only me. It's just me. Anyway, yeah.
All right. So we'll just put that on a whenever you are wanting to basis, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. And on my end, yeah, probably expect at least one video to come out this week. I can't tell you exactly how many. Some of the stuff is just like, you know what, I want to make a little video showing off how to play, I don't know, Skirmish Cav, and then in 2 months it gets 5 views. And then sometimes I'm like, I should record my reaction to the Total War Warhammer 3 trailer, and then it gets 300 views, and it's like, I don't fucking understand people.
I do. I actually know why reaction videos get a lot of views. Well, I don't know, but
I get why they're entertaining, yeah.
And not even that they're entertaining. It's literally just a thing of, it gives a sense of companionship, I guess. It feels like you're watching it with them.
So in this case, I think it was mostly entertaining because I just nerd out super hard at something.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, there's almost certainly, like, based off how Spiffing Brit's exploit of the SEO system has been going for this past month, it would seem that reaction videos probably are just highly prioritized by SEO because, hey, the word reaction is there. That's like Fine Bros React. Oh, put it at the top of the search priority. Have you guys seen this business with Spiffing Brit?
I have, but I haven't actually seen videos and shit like that. I've just heard.
Yeah, I've heard news droplets of what's been going on with all the stuff he's been doing lately, and I don't completely understand it, but I'm also not looking too deep into it because
He figured
really
out that
has no impact on me.
Yeah, he figured out that YouTube community posts are, for whatever reason, really highly prioritized by SEO, and you can get way more views and subscribers for your channel just by putting out community posts. Because
I knew
YouTube,
community posts were a high priority because I get on my feed or whatever they want to call it, I get community posts from channels that I've seen a video from, and it's not like I had any interest in that. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
here's a 12-second cat video. Okay, I'll watch that for 12 seconds and be about my day. Then a week later, I'll get a community post from a channel completely irrelevant to anything I'm watching. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I'll click on the channel to see what it is, why it's in my recommended. Did I watch anything from them? Oh yeah, I watched this tutorial several months ago. Didn't leave a like or anything, but I watched it, and now they're popping up on in my feed. So that's nifty. Okay.
yeah, that's another one of the points Spiff made. If you've ever seen a video from a channel, that the community post will get pushed for you for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
And
I'm actually outside of this whole thing because I have watch history and search history turned off.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
And yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
the one last thing I wanted to note was the really funny thing was Spiff then, just to like really emphasize how fucked the community post feature are with SEO, then ended each of the community posts with a just firm block, like a weird poem.
With hashtags, yeah.
And it's like, we should fill our things with, and it's just going hashtag PewDiePie, hashtag Fortnite, hashtag Among Us, hashtag Call of Duty, hashtag Unus Honest. And it just goes on for like fucking it's like a fucking 500-word paragraph of hashtags.
I've seen the picture, although he might get into trouble with that. I'm not sure because back in the day, back in the old days before the war, which is how you know that I've been doing YouTube for 10 freaking years. But yeah, back before the war, from what I remember, if you put tags in your videos that were not actually related to the videos, and you somehow got reported, or if a YouTube admin or someone with those powers happened upon your videos, and they figured it out that whatever you tag the video as has nothing to do with the video, then you got your wrist slapped a bit, a small bit, sometimes channel deletion bit. You know?
It's difficult to say because not only is YouTube a lot less strict now, but the other thing is Spiff has pretty well got pretty much every YouTuber that he's in contact with to do it as well. And there gets to be a certain point where when everybody's guilty of it, they just stop punishing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, hey, if Susan, maybe if you actually tried promoting like newer channels as well or shit like that, maybe people wouldn't have to resort to breaking the system.
That's true, but for as many quality new channels there are, there's also the perspective of how much of it is, of course, like they've had to do so much work to try and crack down on the ElsaGate type stuff.
Yeah, true.
And how much of it is reposted cat videos and vines, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like even with my channel, like I don't deserve to get like 300 views on that video. I don't edit my content. I don't make thumbnails. I didn't start doing descriptions until just a few days ago.
I mean, I don't do descriptions anymore. I used to, but like there was a time when every video that I made got like 150 views. This was 2 years ago when I wasn't as depressed. I've been depressed since like age 8, by the way, but to some extent. But
So you said yes.
But yeah, so like that's actually the weird thing though, because back when I actually made reviews regularly, or I could write reviews regularly, because I still want to make them. I just can't. I literally can't put my thoughts into words.
Writing hard.
Yeah. It used to be really easy, but it's like when we started up this channel, I traded the writing freaking skill tree to the be funny off the cuff skill tree. Which I mean,
I would say Dunning-Kruger effect kicked in. You learned a lot more about like gaming and like critiquing and such, and as such, it became way harder to do because Dunning-Kruger effect. When you start out, everything seems easy. Then you figure out how to actually do it, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is hard."
Yeah, but it's that as well, and then also I want to cover everything in a video game, and that's impossible. I mean,
Yeah.
you can cover most things. You can cover most things to a small effect, or if you're actually good at it, which I'm not yet, then you can cover everything to a like medium to large effect. But like you can't cover everything about the video game. And whenever I watch some of my reviews back, I'm like, well, I missed this point, I missed that point, and like that. Yes, obviously. Yeah. Especially since I don't write notes while I play video games, which means that I write everything from freaking memory.
That's why if I was a competent editor who actually enjoyed editing, I would do video essays instead of reviews. There's a one really fantastic video essay that's like 30 to 40 minutes, and I believe it's by Nakey Jakey, and it's a video where it's just him doing a video essay, basically talking about how Rockstar, the biggest problem with modern Rockstar video games, is how strict the objectives are on missions. Basically, you know how in Red Dead, if you accidentally walk off the trail and while you're in the middle of dialogue with somebody, it instantly fails the mission?
Yeah.
He made a 40-minute video pretty well talking about that. And it was really good and really in-depth, talking about things thoroughly. And it was like, oh, fuck, you can really get in-depth about just about anything with video games. They're so complex, you know?
Yeah. I mean, my thing with the whole like reviewing things versus video essays things is that video essays require a lot of work and intelligence and not like I don't know a lot of things that I don't have more or less. But
you're probably smarter than most of the people on the internet giving out their opinions. I can tell you that.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know, dude. I'm a furry.
Keep in mind the great George Carlin quote. Keep in mind think about how stupid the average person is, and realize half the people are dumber than
that.
But yeah, the other thing is that like in video essays, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do some of the stupid stuff that I eventually want to move on to because I grew up on normal boots and not actually just normal boots. From now that I think about it, like I wanted to point at people, but then I realized, oh, most of them are in normal boots. But like I grew up on JonTron and Caddicarus and freaking Pro Jared. That's he used to point out like that. Peanut Butter Gamer, who still does the same shit from what I gather. But like,
Yeah, PBG really won out there, didn't he?
Yeah, PBG and Caddy are like the two guys who still do shit and do shit to the same quality, I'd say.
Meanwhile, JonTron makes loads of money, but is also kind of a running train wreck. And Pro Jared, you can just cut to a dumpster fire.
Yeah. I mean, there's Brutal Moose. Yeah, he reviews food now, I think.
I have no idea who that is. I pretty well only paid attention to JonTron, PBG, and Pro Jared.
Yeah, I used to follow most of the Normal Moose crew, so I know some of their stuff. But yeah, anyway.
Except for Continue, guys, right?
No, there was a time I watched Continue.
Oh man, okay. What was it? The podcast or their videos?
Their videos.
Okay, because Mike says their podcast was really good, but I never gave it a shot because I hated their videos so much.
I mean, fair. I happened upon their channel just randomly recently, and I tried to watch a video and couldn't. So fair.
Yeah, they got worse with time because they weren't too good to start off with.
But anyway, so like I grew up on those people. So my idea of a review is more akin to like it's more akin to freaking Nostalgia Critic or I like how I was going to say AVGN and then and forgot about Nostalgia Critic and then I said the Nostalgia Critic instead. But yeah, AVGN and the Nostalgia Critic. Then say like freaking anybody respected. AVGN is somewhat respected still.
AVGN, yeah, he's kind of burned a little bit in the last year or two since he handed off stuff mostly to the Screenwave guys, and those guys are a bad lot. They are.
Yeah.
But I mean, AVGN, like up until about the Earthbound review, yeah, he was definitely very respected and well loved.
Yeah.
Up until the movie bomb, there we go. That's. I mean, outside of him, I'm struggling to think of guys that wouldn't be like hyper specific. Obviously, Game Developers Toolkit is really highly respected. Well, I can't think of any others, but I can totally go ahead and plug Leon Massey for fighting game video essays. He makes a bunch of video essays on fighting game mechanics. Wow, there we go. Like one of them is
the thing we wanted to do. Hey.
Yeah.
At least the gap is filled.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
I mean, more fighting game content is more fighting game content, regardless.
Yeah.
He made a very good video on why the Guilty Gear tension meter is one of the best super meters in fighting games.
Nice. But yeah, so like the thing I wanted to get out of that whole listing of people is that like eventually, once I'm like, because I'm comfortable in front of a camera, I'm not comfortable editing myself. That's the thing, though. Yeah. Like I can do silly shit even right now, and then I can present. I mean, y'all have seen it because I had to make a freaking blog for my school. So you have seen that I'm not that awkward in front of a camera, but like I don't like editing myself because it means looking at my face, and my face bothers me. So hey. But eventually, once I get over that, one way or another, like I would probably also like want to do skits and shit, even though like that's the thing that makes it hard for me to write, because you need to be able to have the skits that you want and try and make them funny. Also, make them relevant, because you don't want to become the Nostalgia Critic. Hey,
hey. Now that's not the problem with Nostalgia Critic. The problem with Nostalgia Critic was that there was a child child grooming ring going on underneath his very nose, and he didn't care.
I mean, both of those are problems.
Yeah.
Like as a person, the second one is a bigger issue. For his content, the first one is a bigger issue.
The second one can definitely be an issue for his content. Come on.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'll have to figure out with time. Anyway,
So, I did ask you, what did you watch? What videos were you putting on our channel this week? So that's a no.
yeah.
Okay.
There are no
Videos.
videos.
Vidjas, they exist somewhere.
In fact, this week I'm going to be deleting videos off my channel, like Nintendo.
You better go watch them while you can. This is your last chance.
You know, I've done that before. I've had one great purge already. I can do another.
Don't tempt me.
Watch them now before they go into the Ati the Hero vault.
Yes, you will have to pay me $9.99 monthly to access my old reviews, because now my channel is going to be all furry content. Furry what?
Yes.
No. Yes.
It's a good thing I caught myself there. I nearly shot coke out of my nose.
Nice.
Which is the way, from what I hear, that's the opposite way from which coke's supposed to go.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
I just like the mental image of deleting all of my reviews and becoming like a freaking, like, I don't know, a channel where I dance around in a fursuit to freaking shitty furry cover songs.
Look, man, for a while now, like for a month ago, whenever I got into Twitter, I was like, I should probably follow Sonic Fox. And I was like, oh no, wait, he probably posts a lot of furry stuff on there on his Twitter. And just this past Tuesday, I saw a Sonic Fox tweet. Checked his Twitter. He hadn't posted any furry stuff in like the last week. It was just like fighting game stuff and all this.
Well, yeah, he did tweet a lot of furry porn, from what I hear.
So I followed him, and I have yet to been graced with furry porn. But just the other day he released like 10 tweets in a row or something of him and his friends like just playing VR chat as furries, and I'm like, I get that you enjoy that, man, but I don't know. Not in terms of like, it's just like, why put it out on your Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Though I guess it occurs to me that he probably is just as intent on building a furry community as he is building a fighting game community. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what else was I going to say? I guess this is your time to talk about videos, but you're not putting any videos out this week.
Yeah. So your videos, where are they?
Oh, right.
Where did you hide them?
Somewhere in my brain, they must leak out.
I'm going to purge your videos too, if you don't take
Oh no!
quick.
Oh no! God forbid you get rid of that one clip I had from Hitman of me pulling a T-posing woman through a window. I've been feeling like getting back to Hitman, but I feel like I gotta wait until I get the PS5 and get Hitman 3.
Hitman 3, from what I hear, is not really good
Is
right
what?
now. It's not really good right now. It needs some
Oh,
time
really?
to. Yeah, it needs a bit more time in the oven.
I heard the review scores were fantastic.
I mean, the gameplay is mostly fine, but the always online stuff ruins it.
Oh, yeah, that's always been a problem. IO interactive servers are not great.
Yeah. So it's just more of that, but it's been acting up even more because people
weren't expecting the surge of players with Hitman 3, of course.
Yeah. Like I watched a guy play through the whole game, and from what I remember, I think like maybe one 5-hour session was the only one where he only got DC 3 times out of the 3.
Well, I'm in no rush, given that I don't have a PS5, so it is getting dangerously close to I give up territory, right? By which point I'm just like, fuck it, I'll try again in August,
Yeah.
It's because that AMD did say they expect the shortage on their graphics cards that the PS5 needs to go until August or September, and I was sitting there like, oh motherfucker, you guys are having a great time, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
The news article is, of course, accompanied by a picture of the CEO, and she's got the biggest dumb grin on her face.
I mean, hey,
just rubbing her nipples, being like, "Oh, Wouldn't it be
We're
horrible
sorry.
if there was another shortage?
Yeah, we're sorry. Even that feeling
Yeah.
again, sorry, that scene from South Park.
Yeah. With the nipple holes cut out of the shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
I
What was
mean,
it?
with the whole PS5 and Xbox Series X thing, like you just need to do the big brain planes. Be born in Hungary. You can't even afford them. So hey, no correction. Be born in a ghetto in Hungary. You can't
Yeah,
even afford them.
excuse me, let me just be born into fucking ex-Hungarian nobility. Oh, look. I own half of Budapest. How'd that happen?
Oh my.
What was I going to say? So, yeah, probably going to release some videos over the week. I don't know what about. Almost certainly going to talk about Warhammer 3 at some point. I don't know what else I'll plan on doing. All right. So, Pink, what you been doing this past week?
Oh, not a lot. I put a lot of time into playing Civ 6 with the new civilization Vietnam. I've
Okay,
not
I've
tried
not
out.
gotten to
Go ahead.
I've not gotten to try them out yet, but isn't their whole thing just like pray for jungle tiles?
Sort of. It's not really jungle tiles. Jungle tiles probably are the best ones that they could get because they are very hard geared into going for a culture victory. And I believe the jungle tiles give culture bonus to their unique encampment district.
Yeah, I was
So those
about to
are
say, my understanding
yeah,
of Vietnam and Civ 6 is that they're like the equivalent of Civ 5's Ethiopia.
yes.
Just
They turtle hard and there's basically not any good way to wipe them off the map easily because they get their unique district so quick and it's an encampment, so that's a lot of defense in the early game. And they construct it in like half the time of a normal encampment, so they can pump those suckers out like nobody's business.
okay, so it doesn't really. So the nice thing about Vietnam is that you get it's not as much of a strain on you to have an actual military as it is on other peaceful civs.
Indeed.
Because that's always the problem when you play like Sweden. It's like, well, I mean, I need to have a military just in case, but
Yeah.
having another art museum sounds really good though.
Yeah. So yeah, their encampment district. It's basically a kind of a what's the culture district called? It's a half theater square, half encampment district. So yeah, it's
Hmm?
basically a compromise between the two. No great rider points from it, but it does provide culture. So
Okay. So it's just encampments provide culture. Okay.
yes. So very good district, and the more unique districts, not unique districts, the more districts you have around it, the more culture it produces. So every adjacent district will add +2 culture to the encampment. So it's a very good district. It planning your districts is going to be a lot like Japan, but not quite as good because you're only
Yeah.
boosting that one,
Yeah.
but still very very good unique district. And once you uh acquire flight or research flight, that encampment will then provide tourism based on the amount of culture that encampment is producing. So if you've got an encampment producing 12 culture per turn, that's going to equate to 12 tourism per turn once you get flight. So that's
Ooh,
very good. Very very good district.
if only tourism actually did something.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, they did add the new unique district. Not why do I keep saying unique? It's not unique. The new basic district, or a basic boy, the preserve, which is kind of it's kind of a new district to enable you to make national parks more easily and also get better yields from those national parks if you can even work national park tiles, which I think you can, but I don't
Okay.
recall. Yeah. So the preserve, it's like Persia's unique infrastructure, or I think that's the correct word, the paradisa, where it will boost the appeal of surrounding tiles.
Yeah.
So there's a building for it later on in the tech tree that will then, after it's provided that appeal boost, if you build the building that it comes with, which I forget the name, I think it's the Grove, but I don't recall. That will then add yield bonuses to surrounding tiles based on their appeal. So I don't think average tiles will get any bonus, but charming and up to breathtaking, those will all get some sort of this, either in food, culture, or what have you. Maybe
I
a food
forget that
protection.
the
I'm not
appeal
sure.
system. I forget
I
that the
did,
appeal system even
yeah,
exists most of the time.
yeah.
Oh,
Because I'm always typically I always start off trying to go for a culture victory, so I'm tabbing over to check out the uh, appeal of all the tiles, looking for good national park spots. Usually, I just go for the Earth Goddess Pantheon because that means, hey, every breathtaking appeal gives you 2 faith. And if I see a tile with 2 faith, that means, oh, it's breathtaking. Let's see if we can build a national park here somewhere. So it's easier on me than having to tab over into the lenses.
and you did say that they finally made an update that makes it where there's more of those tiles, right? So that national parks aren't like a once a campaign thing.
Yes.
Okay. And anything else?
Anything else? Year of the not Rooster. Rooster was years ago. Year of the Ox in Overwatch that came out this week, and it has a new free for all mode, which is basically a King of the Hill, where it's 6-man, everyone for himself. First person to get a kill is the quote unquote bounty hunter, and
Okay.
killing the bounty hunter earns you more points than killing a normal person. And
Okay.
also getting kills as a bounty hunter earns you more points.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a point system, first to 4,000, I want to say, and normal kills are 100 points, and bounty kills, I want to say, are probably double or triple that. I'm not sure.
Jesus.
Might even be 500. So, it's very hectic, very enjoyable. My entire family, everyone who owns Overwatch anyway, we all would queue up at the same time and see if we could get into the same game, and a lot of us did. Some of us didn't. Sometimes it would be
Eh,
split. There'd be like 3 in one game, 3 in another, and it's like, oh, okay. We could make a full game because there are 6 of us, but no, we can't have it our
Jesus
way.
Christ. Jesus Christ, how many of them, how many of you are there?
There are so many. I come
Oh
from
my
a family
God.
of 10, I think. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so many.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know how many siblings I got?
One.
One. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep tabs on all of yours. I know where you live.
I
I
can
mean, you
smell
might.
you.
You might.
I mean, I joke, but but
I've
I,
not been hiding it too well, honestly.
I mean, some people, they can take just a little bit of information and uncover a lot with it. So yeah, I don't
yeah,
doubt it.
that's not me though. Like the closest I actually got was there was like a freaking 2 week span where my mom was really obsessed with finding out where you live, Pink, for some reason.
Ah,
So I had to at least pretend to be looking at freaking the chain you work at, and figuring out where it might be based on the picture you posted.
Say,
yeah.
Addy, does your mom
I don't
work
know if
in
they're all
constructing
constructed the
car
same. That
bombs?
I don't think that's the case though. So mine, yeah, you probably could find me based on that image alone. I've not been to too many others, but
What, the picture
I know
where
for a
the place
fact.
is on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it.
Half the state was on fire at that
Yeah,
time.
I was about to say that. Like literally half the state and all of California was on fire, so it's not much easier to narrow it down. But yeah,
But
you
yeah,
could probably find me if you really tried.
but yeah. No, my mom doesn't have isn't known for like making car bombs or shit or whatever you said. Tom, yeah, I couldn't hear all
I
of it.
said car bombs, yes.
But she just really found the idea funny of like freaking getting plane tickets and going to Pink's freaking workplace in a fursuit and just harassing her.
As if Pink would recognize your mom.
No, not my mom. She wanted to send me.
No, but it'd be funnier if it was your mom.
I mean, yeah.
Pink, you get cornered by a strange Hungarian woman in a fursuit at your work. What you do?
What you do?
Cry every time.
Especially if she comes in
from the Zoo Tycoon or whatever he played.
Especially if she comes in with, especially if she comes in like T-posing.
Yeah, on Heelys T-posing.
Yes. remember Heelys? Those are freaking rad.
She still brings those up whenever we're in a freaking shoe store because I wanted Heelys when I was They haven't sold those in 10 years.
It's been so long.
No, the real kicker would be me walking in a fursuit and my mom in a freaking golf Lolita outfit because that's her thing.
Oh God!
Yeah.
I was almost worried for a second there. Pink was going to say like, "Oh, now I'm interested."
Yeah. Turns out all of my family has some sort of weird. So hey,
everyone does, brother. Everyone does. Oh shit!
Weird to go around.
Yes. Be happy that you got one of the weirds that is not like morally fucked up.
Yeah.
Based off what we've been hearing about a certain celebrity these past few weeks, you could be interested in eating people's hearts.
Oh man!
Shia LaBeouf finally admitted it.
That's what you get when you name a kid after a disembodied arm on baking soda products.
Yeah.
Mr. Clean? Yeah. No.
Mr. Clean, why?
He must clean the flesh.
Do this?
He must clean the flesh before he consumes.
He rubs the oil in the skin before he gets the hose again.
Yeah, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we had actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Turns out, no, it's actually actual cannibal Armie Hammer. What a week of revelations it has been. I'm kind of surprised, Daddy, you haven't been paying attention to this because Armie Hammer was like a who gives a shit celebrity who just done a bunch of.
I don't know who Armie Hammer is, so
that is absolutely fair because nearly every movie he's been in has been a train wreck, and he did the Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp. Did you hear about that?
That's the only one I've seen a little bit of.
Because that one was a train wreck. He did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Henry Cavill, and he did Call Me by Your Name with Timothée Chalamet. And Call Me by Your Name was the one that was very controversial a couple of years ago because it was up for a load of Oscars. But then people put the math together and they figured out, oh, hang on. So this movie is about a gay romance between Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer's characters. Here's the problem: Timothée Chalamet's character is underage. And it was like, whoops. No Hollywood.
Also, turns out Armie Hammer took eating meat too literally.
Yeah, and it turned a whole bunch of texts of him texting random fans leaked of him saying talking about how much he would like to rape them at knife point and kill them and drink their blood, and talking about how he once ate a deer's heart while it was still beating. And it's
Kano. Not even Kano, because Kano only wants to piss on you. But like,
Kano pisses on your heart.
Yeah. No, Kano eats your beating heart and then pisses on your corpse. He doesn't rape it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, it's I gotta say, he really jumped up in fame. I didn't give a shit
Yeah,
who he
he
was
went from
before.
D-list all the way up to what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, he's it's I he'll definitely never be remembered for his movies.
No, he was never going to anyway.
No, true.
I mean, let's look on the bright side. Now when they release his movies, they can actually credit him properly as actual cannibal Army Hammer.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh boy, I wonder how prison would turn out for him if it turns out he is guilty for any of this stuff. Because I mean, but we all know what happened to the last famous cannibal to go to prison.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't
Jeffrey
remember.
Dahmer.
Yeah, I
Jeffrey
figured it was him,
Dahmer.
but I don't remember.
He got beaten to death with another prisoner with a dumbbell.
Ah,
Yeah, clubbed his skull right in.
nice.
Yeah, and I believe the guy who killed him said that Jesus told him to do it.
Maybe.
Jesus, because that's what the Bible says about Jesus. He comes to you in your prison cell and is like, "I need you to beat that motherfucker in the next cell over to death with a dumbbell."
I do it, but I'm sinless.
Yeah, and get your hands dirty for my sake. We need him sent to hell express. We cannot wait.
Express delivery, yes.
Lucifer says if you get him there in 5 minutes, I get a free sub. Get to it.
He's the fifth one on my punch card. The next one is free.
All right. So, thank you. Tried out Overwatch this week. What else you do?
What else did I do? I don't recall. I got spoiled on WandaVision.
I also got spoiled on WandaVision, but I gotta say the spoiler made me more interested in the show, not less.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So
Yeah,
when did the
turns
new
out it's
episode come out?
I'm going to wager that the episode that you're probably talking about, because I'm going to assume you're talking about the big one, the big spoiler.
Yeah.
Came out, I believe it came out, it's the most recent one, because as soon as he finished watching it, it sent me a picture of, the surprise return of a relatively old friend.
Yeah.
Captain?
No, one of the few shining bright spots in an otherwise dark franchise.
Yeah.
And it raises all kinds of new... I'm sorry?
I said Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire!
Oh, yeah. That would bring the views.
I mean, hey, that would make me watch.
I'm not here for WandaVision the show. I'm here for potential memes.
Yeah.
I want the three of them to do the dance in New York.
What would be perfect is if somebody rings on the doorbell, Wanda goes and answers it, and it's pizza time. She just grabs the pizza, shuts the door in Toby's face. That's the end of Toby's role.
Yeah. I was going to suggest a dance scene that's like straight from a Bollywood movie where the three of them do a dance in the middle of the street, and then as they walk past people, the people start following them, chanting "Pizza time."
Okay. I've got to mention this for Addy. I don't know how relevant it is for Pank. You know how in Devil May Cry 5, every character has a unique taunt that you can unlock by beating.
I saw.
Now that they've added Virgil in Special Edition, Virgil's unique taunt that he gets for beating Bloody Palace, Pink, is he does the Spider-Man 3 emo Peter dance.
What?
Yeah.
Incredible.
And Virgil is super serious all the time, so seeing him dance is just like, what the fuck?
But you see, the dance is ironic. So.
Yeah.
Ironic.
I'm fine with Virgil having more fun in 5 because this is clearly the version of Virgil that's gained his humanity. Virgil in Devil May Cry 3 is ashamed of his humanity and wants to be a demon, which is why he's such a serious prick all the time. Whereas when we see him in 5, he is finally embraced his humanity, which is why he has more of a sense of humor. With that said, as good as that tone is, I still vastly prefer the one where it's the doppelganger comes out and starts dancing in circles around Virgil, while Virgil face palms and goes, "Oh God, I swear this isn't me. That's not me. I know it's a doppelganger of me, but I would not dance like that. I swear." Like Virgil, deep down inside, Virgil really is just got the same personality as Dante. God, I fucking love Virgil. I have got the fucking PS5 copy of Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition right over there. I'm looking at it right now, and it pisses me off. God damn it.
Let's do it, PS5s.
My boy is waiting. My son. I have abandoned my child.
But is your body ready?
Oh, my body's been ready for years. The moment the Devil May Cry 5 got revealed at E3 2019, my body was ready. Or was it E3 2018? Fuck, I can't remember.
Me neither. Anyways, WandaVision, Pink.
Yeah, WandaVision, I got spoiled. I'm pretty sure the episode came out yesterday. I don't know at what time because I went and took my lunch break at 6 a.m. and there were already spoilers all over the internet. So I was like, wow,
Yep.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah, Disney Plus is expensive, but it's one of those things where, like, I mean, if we didn't want to be spoiled, I guess we should have just been there to begin with.
It was only mere minutes after the show had aired, though, potentially. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know when those new episodes air, but I'm pretty sure they're scheduled for Fridays. And if I'm taking my lunch at 6 a.m., that means it's only 9 a.m. over on the East Coast. So how long could the episode have been out? And, not everybody, even if we're all quarantined, not everybody can just drop everything and watch the latest episode. Or just avoid the internet entirely,
Yeah.
I'm not big on spoiler culture. I think there comes a time where if you haven't seen something, you've kind of screwed yourself over and you shouldn't be bagging on others for accidentally spoiling you on year-old movies.
Yeah.
But for something that has just gone off the air 5 minutes ago, and now you're taking to Twitter, posting spoilers or quote unquote spoilers by posting those unrelated but totally related images, which anyone with half a brain can put 2 and 2 together to figure out what the spoiler is. That kind of peeves me. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, but you kind of have to know that with things like that, that's going to blow up on Twitter, right? Because WandaVision has been having like a big twist every episode at this rate, right?
Allegedly, I've only seen the 5th episode.
I've seen none of them, but I've been hearing things. I saw an interview the other day. It was an interview from like 6 years ago when it was first announced that Elizabeth Olsen was going to be playing Wanda, and the interviewer asked her, "What's your favorite? What storyline do you really want to do with Scarlet Witch?" And she said, "Oh, there's no way they'd ever let me, but I'd love to do the storyline where she has fake kids and the devil takes them away."
Now she has fake kids and the devil's going to take them away.
And the other one she said she wanted to do but didn't think they'd let her do it?
What's that?
House of M.
Go ahead.
No, Wanda said no more pink.
No more pink, yeah.
There we go.
House of
That's
M
one of those gags that won't come across on the recording. So, yeah, the guess people had for a while there that it's going to be a reverse House of M, and the series is going to end with Wanda saying, "More mutants." May actually be true.
I remember that.
That would certainly be a twist on House of M, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So which episode of WandaVision is going to have freaking Scarlet Witch get together with Quicksilver while Wolverine watches?
That's ultimate.
I know.
The only Ultimate comic that is acceptable to talk about is Spider-Man.
Yeah, the first couple years of Ultimate Spider-Man. The rest
you,
is no.
you can cherry pick stuff from the other Ultimate stuff that you can be like, I like this, but like broadly, there's problems. You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like the Ultimate Avengers were awful, but hey, Ultimate Tony was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
Was
the only good thing about him, and that's more or less what MCU Iron Man is.
Yep.
Was Ultimate the freaking run with radioactive spider semen?
No, that was Spider-Man Reign.
Oh yeah.
Also non-canon, but that one's like an apocalypse. That's kind of like the Old Man Logan, but for Peter. So it's Old Man Peter.
Yeah.
And quite famously sucked. Which, I mean, the original Old Man Logan comic isn't great either, so... the best part of the Old Man Logan comic isn't Logan at all. The best part of Old Man Logan is Old Man Clint.
Yeah.
Like, the Hawkeye, they put him in this ridiculous position of, Hawkeye is now not only deaf, he's also blind, and yet somehow he kicks even more ass with age?
He's the best Avenger for a reason.
He really, I love Hawkeye, I do. I was so disappointed when I unlocked him in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and he's got the fucking sunglasses look.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came on screen, my family, I'm playing it with my sister and my parents, and all the rest of my family went, "Who the fuck is that?" And I had to explain, yeah, that's what Hawkeye looks like in the comics. It's super lame.
Obviously, they should have went with the better costume, Ronin.
Yeah.
Please God, Pink, tell me there's an unlockable alternate costume for Hawkeye.
I believe the Ronin costume is the alternate unlockable costume for Hawkeye.
So Deadpool gets 6, Hawkeye gets 2.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. All right. Pink, what else did you do this past week?
What else have I done? I don't think there is anything else I've done.
Eddie!
I feel like there might be something, but no. Pass it off to Addie.
If you got any ideas.
Well then, let's start with the one that's gonna come up a lot, I guess. For now, because we got back into it. But Smite, Smut,
Smooch,
What?
yes.
Smitty.
I had a game just today, where there was a funny showing of power, I guess, from my part, because I feel usually, and the first game, I'm forcing myself to play with randos again, because otherwise my Danny boy won't get leveled up to freaking rep 10. But
That way you can flex on people on the loading screen.
Yes. Look at how big my balls are. Also, I'm level 10, but look at how big my balls are. Anyway.
Tenzabu just has to spin in place and it knocks people out.
Yeah. That's his fifth ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first game I do, I get put with a team that chooses, hey, what if we had 2 mages? Okay. I was Retatosker. The enemy team had 2 assassins, 2 mages, and Sylvanas. So, arena.
Admittedly, going up against a team that has too many mages when you're playing assassin is kind of heaven. So
yeah. So they had a level 10 Nemesis and a level 7 Bakasura, from what I remember.
Oh no.
Yeah. And also like a level 3 Janus or something like that. So bad times, brother.
Yeah, good.
But
a shitty player on Nemesis is easy pickings. A good player on Nemesis is fucking invincible.
Yeah. And so here's the thing.
She is the tankiest assassin in the game, isn't she? She has to be.
I think so. So. It's her or Tor.
Yeah. I think Nemesis actually doesn't have a special ability where she
She
takes
does.
protections
She does.
from. Yeah. So that's why she goes from being pretty tanky to super ultra tanky.
Yeah.
And it's freaking scary when you come across a good Nemesis.
Uh-huh.
Boy, oh boy. I have nightmares to this day.
Yeah. I mean, hey, still whenever I see Zeus, I cry. So
Zeus
anyway,
is in that same awkward spot where he absolutely sucks, or he's really, really good and he will wreck your day.
yeah.
I mean, even when he sucks, he still has great area denial.
Absolutely.
True. But yeah, so on our team, and I guess this is important for some reason. I don't know. I just whatever information. So on our team was a Medusa. So imagine this: Medusa is at 50% health. I am I'm around 75, 80. Nemesis is running at Medusa with 75% health as well. Janus is completely fresh, and I did so well in that game that me running up next to Medusa to try and help her out made it so both Janus and Nemesis turned around and ran. I died once in that game, literally in the last second. We won with one tick.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary.
Like, they were still pretty good. And also, like, from what I could tell, a lot of the people who were on my team were kind of new, or at least they weren't used to those characters so far, because Aphrodite kept freaking healing other people. Well, Aphrodite kept healing nobody. Is really is the issue.
Yeah, that's always the problem with Aphrodite is it's not obvious the way she heals people, so people tend to fuck that up when they're first getting used to her.
Yeah. But I mean, by the second half of the game, she figured it out, so that was good.
Yeah.
and once she did, she was good. So hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good match. Another one I wanted to point out was that was funny. A couple of days ago, I met with probably the most toxic player I've played with since we started playing Smite again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So there was this guy who locked in Hades after the three other people also locked in Mage.
Oh my god.
Then I lock in Hell because at that point memes.
Yeah, memes.
And the guy writes in chat, "Hey, I think we have too many mages." And then proceeded to blame everyone but himself whenever he tried to 1v5 the enemy team and we didn't help.
If you take a screenshot, you can probably send it to Scrub Quotes.
Nah, I don't usually give enough of a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was funny. Like I saw that message and I was like, "Geez, you think?" It's almost like you took like half a minute to choose Hades after three other people have locked in Mage.
No, they're the problem, not me.
Yeah. I mean, like
I get to have fun, and everyone else should take the game seriously. That way, I get to win.
Yeah.
People.
Like, yeah. I'm also trying to figure out how to play Danzaburo properly because like Danzaburo is in a place where I have a general idea, but I'm not really good with him, but I want to play him because I like him. So.
Well, there's always an easy answer with hunters, which is shoot.
But yes, but you see, shoot doesn't work sometimes because you need to figure out how to shoot. because sometimes people build freaking too much defense. So
then you build penetration.
Yeah. But I mean that's the thing. Danzaburo could go either way. He could be an attack speed hunter, or he could be an ability damage hunter. But the thing is, like, ability damage is better overall in that, like, you can do more consistent high damage. But Danzaburo's abilities aren't great when it comes to that. So that's what makes him kind of hard to figure out for me, at least. But like
the little bamboo forest he can place doesn't do damage, does it?
No, it slows down the enemies inside it. It speeds up his attack speed and movement speed, and if he runs out of it, then he turns into a leaf.
Okay.
So I think what Danzaburro's tricky because he seems like a very ability focused hunter, but I
But he's
feel
not.
like he isn't because aside from his one, which is the 3 bombs, the liquor bombs that he throws out, none of his other abilities are really that good in my opinion. His ult is great, but his bamboo forest is a good DPS tool and escape option, and his liquor bomb, whatever it is, I don't remember what it's called, but it doesn't seem to ever do a lot of damage, and the
Is it more
crowd
so for
control that
laning?
it doesn't. It's not a laning option either, to my knowledge, because it doesn't really do anything to the minions.
Well, it doesn't
You're
do
Oh,
it doesn't do
much
anything.
better off just shooting the minions, from what I can tell.
Well, here's the thing with that whole thing. So his one is his best option for basically anything that's close range. It's a shotgun, more or less.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which makes it suck, because on hunters usually have one sniping tool. Like Ullr has his 3 in both stands. Hachiman has both his banner and his longer range shots, and also horse. So
Nah.
off the horse.
and even long like shorter range hunters like Izanami, she doesn't have that long range. She can snipe as well, but she has her disappear thing instead, so she
Yeah,
can sneak up on people, and also her normals hit twice, so But Danzaburo doesn't really have um a good sniping tool, really. Like his sniping tool is just turning into a leaf and running up on people, but then you can't escape. So
yeah,
you need to consider whether or not you can actually secure the kill and run away before you actually make a move, and that's something that I still need to wrap my head around, because I'm used to Ullr. I'm used to being able to go, hey, here's an X, you stop there, you die now, all right, jump, and then I just jump out of there. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, his two can deal a lot of damage. It depends on the enemy type, but I've seen it do like 25% damage sometimes. It was
that's
an
pretty
it was
decent.
an end game. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's also good. His 2 is also good because it heals him when he casts it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then the bamboo forest, basically never use, not because it's bad, but because, like, to me, the escape part is too valuable to waste it on the DPS. Usually.
very true. I can agree with that.
And also for the rocket is really good when you can actually line it up and shit, but it takes a lot of time to cast. And I still haven't figured out how to do the riptire part, which would make it a really good chase tool, actually. Because when he blows up in riptire, then he spawns where the firework blew up.
Yeah,
Do you not just like hit the ultimate button twice and then hit your attack button?
I'll need to check that again. Because
Because
I've tried, but
I went
yeah.
into I did the God Builder for Dan Zebaru, and I think that's what it said on his description for his ult.
I'll check it out.
All right.
I've tried. I remember trying, but it didn't work. But maybe I freaking like maybe it's one of those things where I think I pressed it twice but didn't.
I mean, it could be a really weird input. Sometimes the inputs are real fucking weird.
Yeah,
King Arthur feels like you're playing an entirely different god than anyone else in Smite. You know.
yeah.
yeah.
Aside from that, let's see. I also started up and finished Control.
Control, okay. I'm really curious to try that, but again, it's one of those things where I'm gonna wait on the PS5.
No, you actually own it on both.
Yeah, but I wanna wait for it on PS5.
You should. So,
Yeah.
where do I start? Okay, let's start with a summary, because hey, Eddie goes into game review mode right now. Let's start with a summary of the game. Control is this generation's Fear. which is to say that it's a shooter with horror elements and some gameplay mechanics that it will be remembered for, but it is kind of mediocre.
Eh. And story-wise, it's pretty well SCP, and you're the director of the SCP, right?
Yeah, more or less. So
Okay.
yeah. Instead of little ghost girl, we get the SCP Foundation because Sadako is not in right now.
I'm happy with that. It's a more creative idea than anything we've got in gaming right now.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the SCP part and all that. Like I used to until the middle of last year, I think I used to watch a lot of ARG content, like people discussing ARGs anyway.
Yeah.
And I quit that because it started giving me freaking too much anxiety. But
Yeah.
hey, maybe now that I'm getting better, I can get back into it because I genuinely like I enjoy that sort of stuff because people are making horror movies because horror movies have started sucking. Well, it's not that they started sucking; it's just that there's more, I guess.
Horror has always been a genre that has got a lot of stuff that tries to appeal to the lowest common denominator. But you kind of
Yeah.
get what's its face? Hanlon's razor, I think. No, not Hanlon's razor. Shit, there's some other razor or law there. Fuck.
Occam's razor.
Oh, I can't remember. Someone keep going while I look this
Occam's
up.
razor.
Not Occam's razor. Occam's razor is the simplest answer. Is usually the true one.
Ah,
So, anyways, keep talking about control while I look this up.
all right. So, Control is a game where you play as Jesse. I forget her full name. Whatever, Jesse Ventura. You play as her. Talk to she talks to a character who is off screen, and for the first half of the game, it feels like she's breaking the fourth wall, talking to the player, or at least it's framed in a similar way to make you question whether she's crazy or not. I will not actually talk about whether she's crazy or not. The short answer is yes, but
I mean, you kind of gotta be with SCP because just by being around the SCPs, like, don't half of them drive people crazy just by being near them?
kind of. But here's the thing: even though I said that she's crazy, I mean that is true to a point, and to a point it's not, and that's the actual spoiler territory that I won't go into. Because that's the main point of the game, for at least from what I gathered playing through it.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I found what I was looking up. I was thinking of Sturgeon's Law. The sci-fi critic and writer Theodore Sturgeon was trying to defend sci-fi because there was a lot of people saying, 90% of sci-fi is dog shit, right?
Yeah.
And Theodore Sturgeon's counter in 1958, oh boy, we're going back, was 90% of everything is dog shit. And it's sometimes cited as a law of cynicism and basically saying 90% of everything is crap, life sucks. But in Theodore Sturgeon's case, he was actually using it as a defense of sci-fi as a genre and saying, like, yeah, 90% of stuff that comes out in sci-fi short stories are dog shit, but 90% of everything is dog shit. Especially when you consider stuff that doesn't get published, because oh boy, for stuff that doesn't get published, I mean, just go read fucking fanfic sites, right?
Yeah.
All right.
90% of everything is crap.
Let me pull up my Immortal.
Yeah. The classic one is, of course, the original fanfic parody, Mary Sue.
Yeah.
Which has now gained an entirely different identity over the past couple of years. Oh boy. All right. What else was there that you did this week, Eddie?
Oh, I'm still talking about Control.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I turned into a pirate there. Yar!
Why not, mighty? But yeah. So Control, it has interesting ideas. A lot of them. I mean, the SCP Foundation stuff I liked. I actually like. I don't like y'all know. I don't usually read the descriptions and the logs and shit like that. Usually because I mean games have to make me care for me to actually care. But because I like a lot of similar horror stuff, I was like, okay, maybe I should read some of these logs and stuff like that, and maybe it will make things make more sense or something. And the logs are fine, but it has a similar issue as some of the SCP wiki shit has, which is too much information redacted. Because like I'm exaggerating, but like
Yeah.
when you pick up a logbook, and it's a big A4 page, and there's two big black boxes with one word separating them of, then I can't really figure out what the context is, guys.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's nothing that bad in the actual game, but it feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, there's always that. In horror, there's a lot to be gained from leaving some stuff ambiguous, but there becomes a line where you leave too much stuff ambiguous, and it just becomes frustrating.
Yeah. And that can actually kind of sum up my whole thing with Control, is that like there's a lot of stuff here. There's good things here in this game, but the things that are bad just really too much. I like the horror parts. I like the parts that actually freaking freaked me out and gave me anxiety, because that's how horror works. That's how it should work.
Yeah.
If I'm actually getting freaking dreading going through uh what's the word? Whatever. If corridor, that's the one.
Yeah.
If I'm dreading going through a corridor because there's lots of dead people floating about, and they keep talking to me like freaking whenever I have a bit anxiety attack anyway in real life, then good setup, hey.
Hey.
But like if I'm going through a corridor because of my real life experiences, and maybe is that good enough, then it has done its job. But there's a point where doing only that becomes annoying, because I can learn to shut the voices out, but the game doesn't learn to actually introduce more things that are scary. And some of the monsters, even some of the enemies even are kind of monsters, but they don't they don't all of the enemies feel the same. It's just health bar.
Oh no.
And that's another thing. Like the fighting, that for my taste, there's a lot of too much of shooty bang bang in this game. Because
Oh.
yeah, with the way it was set up, it could have been been close to something of a personalized Silent Hill for me, with the freaking talking to a separate personality that may not exist and shit like that. But like like whenever it's the same issue I had with Uncharted. Whenever I actually started to care about the world, or like whenever I started asking questions that the game would answer, or at least would a game would try to answer, if it had brains, then freaking enemies would spawn. And there was too much of that. And it also feels like the game is a bit confused about itself as well, because there's even horror game design sometimes, because the checkpoints, you need to go to these specific places and actually interact with them to respawn there, like in Dark Souls. And that's kind of a modern reimagining of how Resident Evil did saving with the freaking the increments and stuff.
It still does, actually.
Yeah.
Except
So
for 6. 6 was the only one not to do that. And 6 is also the worst Resident Evil. So
I see.
I'm not saying it's correlated, but there is. It's correlation, not causation, I should know. There correlation, not causation.
Yeah.
A good Resident Evil game is not determined by its saving system.
Yeah. But so like it does that stuff. But at the same time, it's not a horror game. It's a shooter. So or at least like when you're actually playing the game, it feels like it's a shooter and not a horror game to me. It's like actually, oh yeah. That's now that you reminded me of Resident Evil 6. That's actually the thing I wanted to say. It's like they wanted to make Silent Hill, and sometimes like somewhere along the way they made Resident Evil 6 accidentally. Like
that is always the worry. That's why some development teams think. That's why some people think it's a good idea to deliberately have archaic, bad controls for horror games, which I've never agreed with.
yeah.
Resident Evil 2 doesn't have bad archaic controls, and it nonetheless plays like a horror game should. So, yeah, people.
Yeah, because there's a difference between like it's just the way things work, I guess, to me. Like in Silent Hill 2, James has a gun. James has multiple guns, in fact.
Yeah,
But there's still horror because the guns take longer to fire. Like because James is not a trained professional with guns. James doesn't fire the guns perfectly. It takes some time between shots, which works to the horror.
yeah.
In this game, in Control, there is no ammo.
What?
There is no reload animations. There's only gun.
Okay, are you memeing or are you being honest?
I'm being honest. Well, there technically is a reload time, but it it may as well not exist sometimes. And when it does, it just makes you angry rather than being afraid.
Okay.
So how it works, how the gun works in this game is you have infinite ammo. In fact, there is no ammo in this game. You just get to shoot as much as you want. More well, as much as the bar allows you. And then when the bar goes down, then you need to wait for it to recharge, and that's your reload animation. There is no actual animation,
Yeah.
and that's how the game works. There's also technically like there are more guns than one, but technically it's all the same gun, but just different variants of it. Which
Okay.
sounds bad, but they actually like because you get on SCP gun, it can morph into different fire modes, which works to mimic, different gun types. But I didn't use more than 2 of them because there was no reason to once I unlocked the charge shot, which dealt like 50% damage to all enemies. Like it runs into the problem of like why should I use all any of these options when I have this? And technically, there is a detriment to using the charge shot, which is it only gets 2 shots, and then you have to wait for it to recharge. But you can increase the reload time, or like, decrease the reload time, I guess. And yeah,
Okay.
what else is there to say about Control? It really just feels like they really wanted to make something like Silent Hill, like something with a heart in it, and it just fell apart. Like there's all of this promise squandered.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm interested. I'm still interested in trying Control, and I mean I've got it for free, so of course. But yeah, I heard that the other attempt at doing Silent Hill again is also got high
Yeah.
review scores, but when you hear about the story, it's ooh boy.
Medium? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, did you read
yeah.
did you read that one person's write up about freaking how mental health is treated in Europe?
I didn't read about it being treated in Europe. I read about how the game story is basically people who have been traumatized are cancers on society. You should feel sad for them, but also they need to be killed so they can't traumatize other people. And it's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, another person wrote, and allegedly they I think they said that they work in mental health over here somewhere. I think in Poland, and they wrote up that basically that's not a studio thing. That's an Eastern Europe thing. Which yes, I can attest to that because growing up, my grandmother, both my grandmother and my mother have gone to the psychiatrist once, and then never again because of the way they were treated. And whenever the thing of mental health came up, and even now my mom does this. Whenever mental health comes up, and I'm like, maybe I should seek out professional help or something. They go and or they went, and now only she goes. You don't need professional help because they won't help.
Yeah.
Like we'll figure it out as much as we can, and then something will happen. But Professionals will just treat you like a subject, and apparently that's not just a thing over here. So hey,
You'll get fucking mad scientists wherever you go in life.
true. But
Indeed.
I mean, even my anecdotal experience is I have had three psychologists. The first two, but the first one was like, hey, why don't you become an alcoholic to fit in with your class, underage boy? But because
Yeah,
this is when I was 15.
that doesn't surprise me. There are some adults who just give the worst advice to kids, and it's like, what the fuck,
But
dude?
here's the thing. Here's the thing, because that was at the school that they kicked me out of for being a freaking gypsy. So that was their psychologist. So then I went to the child protective services because they had a thing over here, and they also had a psychologist thing, and you could request it. So I did, and she also went, "Hey, that's a good idea. Why don't you become an alcoholic, underage
Why
boy that can
not?
die from alcohol?"
Solution. Yes.
Yeah. So
Are you getting advised by like fucking? Oh, who am I even thinking? Like,
Aaron,
just start drinking, kid. Put some hair on your chest. I don't understand why we banned drinking for these kids. Back in my day, I drank when I was fucking 10 years old. I came out of the when I came out of the womb, they handed me a fucking frosty mug.
maybe, who knows? But yeah,
Is this like something of like back in my day, kids drank a shit ton or something? I
no,
don't
I
know.
mean, kids used to drink a shit ton, and they do even now. But like,
Oh yeah.
you're employed by the Child Protective Services. Like, why? How? So after that, we found turns out one of my mom's classmates became a psychologist, and she's so far the only one who has actually listened to me. Also, she had to move away when we would have started treatment, which is why I'm still untreated for anything. But because why would I get help? But yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming her because she had to move away because of family reasons. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
It's just funny that the one time that I could actually get help, no, and that's why I'm so like uncertain of actually seeking out help right now, because like I from my experience, 2 out of 3 times you get an asshole, and
Oh no.
at that point might as well just like try and treat it myself.
I don't know about that. That is, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of quacks out there, but if you think it's bad enough to require treatment, that's always a thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust self medicine. I don't trust self medicating. I don't trust a lot of doctors, but I trust self medicating less.
I mean, yeah. We'll see, because like if it gets dire enough, then obviously I'll go to a freaking professional. uh, but yeah, where was I? Anyway, I guess that's control for you.
Yeah.
So, as for other stuff, but how do I even start this? Well, seems like from the looks of it, my family will never accept that I'm asexual unless I freaking have sex and tell them that I disliked it, because because they
Well, I mean,
spent
brother,
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna hassle you, but I am gonna admit that I'm on the side of ask again when you've tried it.
I mean, yeah, like I can see that as well, but like I feel the things I feel, and so like even though I can put them into words, sometimes like there is a chance that it may not be the case, but like from the things that I can tell, it doesn't seem like it's not. I guess it's the best way I can summarize it.
I suppose so.
But so they spent the first half of the week freaking like shoving porn into my face.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way to go either.
I mean, it did lead to the
You want
funny.
to talk about Sturgeon's law? Oh boy.
Yeah. But it did lead to the funny conversation of like, well, okay, that leads into another thing. So I also properly told my sister about my being a furry because she didn't believe my mother when she told her. So, and both her and my mom, like the first thing after the initial shock, the first thing both of them suggested was, "Hey, why don't you start drawing furry porn?"
There's a bit of a jump there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. That's almost like saying, "Oh, if you love something so much, why don't you marry it?" Hey, Pink, if you love your comic books so much, why don't you fuck them?
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Some people do that.
They get paper cuts on their dick. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It sounds wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's their fetish. They get paper cuts on their dick and then they freaking.
I thought you were going to say being uncomfortable is their fetish.
I mean, that too. Some people
I like being uncomfortable.
Just
it's
a
so
mild
great. You should try it.
Just a mild discomfort. That's their fetish. They're like, oh, yeah. Can this chair have less padding, please? Just put it in the most awkward places. Oh. Can you say something like just weird enough to be like unnerving, but not so weird that it's funny? Just slightly weird. Oh.
Oh yeah, the feng shui of this room is messed up. I love it.
Oh, we're gonna have to slightly tilt that painting over there. You see how it's perfectly at the 90-degree angle? He just goes over and pokes it with his finger.
Yeah. But yeah, so I had to explain. Hey, I would rather not draw furry porn. I mean, even if I wanted
to, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, like even if I wanted to, I don't think people would buy it because I don't draw that good. But like, shit.
No, brother, let me tell you, they would. There's an absurd amount of money to be made there.
Yeah, true. I'll put up
like, like, think about it. What are the chief instincts, right? The animal instincts. First one, eat. Second one, fuck. There you go.
Third one, profits.
Third one, profit. Yeah. I mean, basically, when you just think of humans as nothing more than animals, which honestly most humans are, then really all they care about is just going for the animal instincts. Yeah. Eat, have fun, fuck. Eventually die. That's it. So it's not a surprise at all that these people just blow absurd amounts of money on, like, can you draw like Princess Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean wearing a diaper? And also, Taz the Tasmanian Devil is peeing on her. I'll pay like $5,000 for it.
Can you show? Freaking hell!
The diaper guys are just demanding to be made fun of, and it's not even like a fucked up one that I'm like, oh God, why? Well, it's a little bit of an oh God, why? But it's not even like
it's a definite why.
Yeah, it's definite why, but it's not like oh you monsters kind of fetish. It's just kind of like what's erotic about that? I don't get it.
Look, all I'm saying is that Dragon's fucking cars exist. Dragon's fucking cars. And
everyone who was on the internet in 2010 saw that, didn't they? Like one guy made that probably as a joke, and then he just accidentally started something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's also r/honey lovers, which is the freaking the prime subreddit for B-sex.
What?
Yeah, there's B-hentai.
So it is indeed, like you said, it is hip to fuck bees.
It is, in fact, hip to fuck bees.
Oh, God.
Pink is not talking because he's busy bookmarking all of these phrases I'm shouting out.
There's just so much stuff that has gone over my head today.
For many years, Pink has wondered, I seem to be the only person without a strange fetish that I know. I must discover mine.
Yeah.
I need to go on a journey of self-discovery.
I gotta go on a vision quest of just weird fetish porn. I'm gonna do some ayahuasca, and then I'm gonna go on Reddit.
Pink is really into
No,
Flutter
DeviantArt! DeviantArt!
Oh no.
I like how they named it DeviantArt, and it has slowly transformed very much into DeviantArt.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between finding weird fetish porn on Reddit and finding weird fetish porn on DeviantArt is that
The guy on Reddit isn't paid to do it.
Well, for one and for two, what on Reddit, the Futabee you're looking at is not Sonic yet. Pig, do you even know what Futanari is?
I don't have a clue.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Oh God.
Chicks with big, large boners.
Gigantic.
That's physically possible in most cases.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are with the dark side of the force, there are many things that become possible. Things the Jedi would not tell you about.
Did you hear the tale of Darth Plagueis' demise? He died by snoo snoo.
How can I learn this power?
Unlimited power. Oh no, even worse, unlimited snoo snoo.
From my perspective, the Jedi are the perverts.
From my perspective, the Jedi are the horse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's actually right in the lore, though. That's actually right. Because the Jedi can't get married or participate in relationships, but I do remember reading that casual sex is viewed as A-okay by the Jedi Order.
Oh, perfect.
Ki-Adi-Mundi gets married. Every other Jedi, just a perennial visitor of brothels.
Nice.
Every time there's a fucking issue that demands the Jedi's attention, the local brothels just start offering discounts.
That's their Batman bat signal.
Yeah.
Like, you just get big, large space flyers that say on this and so and so planet the horse are on a discount, and that's how you know they're in danger.
It's like it's a shittily photoshopped picture of Ayla Sakura because everyone's heard about her, and it's just and when Ayla Sakura actually comes on the planet, she's like, "Hey, what the fuck, guys?"
Hot Wookiees in your area.
I like how Addie, because Addie was stuttering there, Addie just said hot, 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 hot. like fucking Jet Pussy from Dead by Dawn. Best character.
So
I take it no one here has watched Dead by Dawn.
No. Pink,
Addie, you'd probably appreciate it. It's stupid.
Pink is dead. Long live Pink.
No, he's just going to another planet so he can hire
Pink left to look at the hentai.
Yeah, I had to go, acquire the journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
Addie has come back. Pink has come back from the space brothel.
Yeah. He
heard about photoshopped images of Ayla Sakura, and he was like, "Oh,
yeah, my calling."
I like that her hair is tentacles.
Kinky.
Yeah. Poor Pink. Every time me and Addie are just joking about perverts and deviants, like it's just immediately, all right, now let's throw that on Pink.
Yeah.
I just inherit all your bad vibes.
Yeah.
Uh, so hey, about my furry fetish. No,
I guess it's to make up for Addie getting the sociopath jokes and me getting the asshole jokes.
yeah.
Um,
Blimey. I mean, are the sociopath jokes when I legitimately have freaking murderous intent sometimes?
oh no!
Hey.
Someone just cuts ahead of you in line at the restaurant, and suddenly the fucking Masatsu symbol appears on your back.
I mean, no, because that would make sense. No, I just wake up weird and the Masatsu symbol appears on my back for the whole day.
Just like a pigeon outside looking in your window is like, oh no.
Play the Knuckles, oh no sound.
Oh man.
You know what Knuckles say? My Goku goes through boulders. That's why I flex my boner. I'm gonna have to send it to y'all. A gif of me smashing the boulder with my dick. Smash this rock with my kokaimas. Maximum pain it must endure.
Afterwards, do massive amounts of ketamines. There it is, ketamines. Do massive amounts of ketamine. Oh shit.
Oh shit. So anyway,
That subreddit was a thing for like 5 minutes, and then until it got banned. All right.
yeah. So on to slightly more depressing news, I guess. Oh shit. So hey, I've brought it up this podcast already, but I'm still having trouble just freaking being fine with myself for some reason, and it has it has come up in weird ways. Is the best way I can put it, because it's so I don't talk a lot about my academics aside from how I was on top of my class for most of it. Usually, because
Literally top of your class. You beat them all. You knocked them
yes,
all out and climbed atop the pyramid of their bodies.
look, I had to acquire the Dark Huddles somehow. I had to train on you using the instant hell murder.
The principal just put over the intercom. He's like, "All right, the battle royale begins now."
No, the whole classroom fades to black Satsu.
That would be too many particle effects for one game console to run.
Yeah. Especially made by KI devs.
Yeah. Ow.
But so yeah, so I don't talk about my academics a lot because I don't have good memories. I mean, I talk about them sometimes when I bring up how I nearly got shanked in freaking grade school, but like there were more problems with that grade school that I don't usually talk about, which is for the first from age 7, like for most of my life, I was bullied. Apparently, I don't remember a lot of it. The parts I do remember was from age 7 to 15, which 15 was when I got freaking kicked out of my first high school for being a gypsy. And then we went to the
Being of the incorrect ancestry, apparently.
yes. I mean, I have no clue what else they could have meant, because like it was either death or death. Yes, they wanted to kill me. No, but like it was either that or freaking like classism, because they literally the thing that my principal said, or that principal said to my mom was, "We don't want your kind here." Now
Oh,
there's two ways to take that.
I can tell you what way to take that.
Yeah, it was either racism or classism. Like
Yeah,
because,
yeah. Ooh.
yeah. I mean, fuck them. The second high school was a lot better. they freaking did me a favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It was after they did that you did the massage.
yeah, I did the miss to the building and everyone inside as well.
The fucking anime eyes appear, and you get the reflection of the sun on your glasses.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I freaking put my glasses up with my middle
The, the
finger.
fucking the fucking part of the Street Fighter arcade mode ending for Akuma where he punches a submarine in half. That's what you did to the school.
Yeah, that's what I did to the principal. I did his third strike ending to the school.
But the problem is, what if the principal reassembles after being punched in half with bad CGI, like the villain of Blade?
Then I just have to do it again.
What if the entire school administration in Hungary is vampires?
Oh, but yeah, so I wasn't able to continue the joke, so I'm just going back to the topic. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, so uh the thing is, like, usually when people talk about how they were bullied in school, it's the classmates. And I mean, in the first high school it was, but for most of my life I've been bullied by my teachers. Like,
Oh, in elementary school, yeah, I did not. My teachers were the menace. They say
uh
kids are cruel, but adults who are only being seen by kids are crueler.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't even just the teachers. It was like I think there's legitimately two teachers in my grade school that liked me when I left, and it was only one for most of that time.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, okay. Actually, now that I think about it, there was three, because my homeroom teacher for the first three grades, she liked me, and then she retired. So that sucked. But yeah, so like y'all know I was homeschooled, so how stuff happened with grade school and even that high school or whatever. So how it happened is that I was just at home. I learned shit at my own pace and stuff like that. And every year I had to go in twice and do tests. And what made that hard sometimes is when literally, like, all of the teachers that you were assigned that year, or your class was assigned, that are technically your teachers, but you don't even know them, standing in, like, with the principal, standing around you and calling you names real loud, yelling. And also you're like 9, you know.
That
That's basically,
is.
yeah.
You make it sound like you've been surrounded by incredibly irresponsible people for all your life.
Yes, I mean that's the thing. Like, I don't know how much of it comes off, because I've been getting better at not letting it slip out as much. But I do have a bit of an issue with like authority and stuff like that. Not because I have a specific issue with them, but because of this whole experience. Because you go to school at 7 years old or whatever, and you're like, oh, the teachers, they are respectable people who are here to help me and teach me and shit like that, and then they do that for all of the time that you interact every time. So
I've probably
so
only ever had two teachers in the entirety of my schooling years in schooling. I've probably only had two teachers that I genuinely respected.
nice.
Pink, have you ever genuinely respected any teachers you've ever had?
My history teacher from college.
Yeah, history teachers are generally the ones who tend to be most like they actually really like their job and
Because
authoritarians.
you'd have to enjoy history in order to become a history teacher. If you don't, you've made a horrible mistake, and there are probably a few people who've made horrible mistakes, and those people probably make for pretty terrible history teachers.
And I think we've all had a couple math or science professors that sucked at the job, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
guys who
yeah.
vary wildly between clearly do not know the answer and are trying to shift things sideways to acting like you're stupid for not knowing the answer to the question. And it's like it's math, dude. It's all about formulas. Shut up. Yeah, a
But yeah,
good
so
teacher makes all the difference in the world, which is unfortunate because Sturgeon's law.
Yeah, like the teachers that I can remember liking in particular. Like I actually have a couple that I like
Oh,
from my
there's all
second.
kinds of teachers I liked but didn't respect.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like I actually like I'd say I genuinely respect most, if not all of the teachers that I had in the second high school. The thing is, because because I got special treatment, and because my mom works there, I got to know them as people as well, not just teachers. So
Oh no.
I then again, like some of the stuff that that I found out about the teachers wasn't even like shit through that. Like for example, I had a geography teacher. I don't like geography. Geography eludes me. I don't understand it. But
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Geography is actually just history.
yeah,
It really is. You think it's about maps, but it's actually about talking about like the culture of India or what have you.
sometimes, yeah,
They
you
can't fool me. I know that was completely unnecessary.
I like both. I like maps and the stuff that happens on the maps.
Yeah. I didn't have any problems with history. I enjoyed it.
I liked history, but whenever it gets to map stuff, I'm like okay, and then I and then I don't understand anything that's happening. But I don't know what it is because like I can read
It's
maps in video
real.
games. So what?
It's it's really hard to learn geography and maps with the way that history is taught in the U.S. And I don't know how it is over in Hungary, but over here it's really hard to get people to learn historical maps just because we teach history as a series of unrelated events rather than a series of events that lead to each other.
Right.
And once you understand that the relations these events have to each other, it becomes super easy to understand the maps because it's like, well, obviously this country influenced this country, so of course they're right next to each other. And there's several countries that you're just going to automatically know because they have distinctive shapes. Like Italy is the boot of Europe, right? Everyone knows
Yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah, and then you remember from there, oh, Switzerland is right next to Italy, France, and Germany because it's pretty well a mix of those three cultures. So it's between the boot, the big western blob that is France, and the big northern blob that is Germany.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I could learn. I just don't want to like anymore.
I mean, you're out of school at this point, so
Yeah.
no
I mean,
no pressure to do so.
I might get back into school with time. I just need to figure out what I want to go to school for.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
also finding a school that is actually facilitating that.
yeah. But yeah, so like I had this geography teacher, and he was this like he really looked like and acted like a guy who has a stick up his ass in class. And everybody thought so as well, until one day, one of the jocks, which I don't know how to call him otherwise because that's basically what he was. I mean, the thing is, I went to like my second high school was a private high school for people who did sports and people who need special treatment. So you
Are the
know,
two somehow related?
sometimes yes, I know that
This
this
is
one
this is a school for fantastic athletes who also have head injuries.
maybe, but
But I feel like there's differentiation though with jocks though, because football jocks I think are different from basketball jocks, are different from soccer jocks. You know,
he played hockey, so
hockey. Oh boy, yeah. With
yeah,
hockey, you can either get a really cool guy or you can get a fucking barbarian.
he was a cool dude.
You guys
Oh,
Thankfully,
had
cool.
hockey?
yeah. Well, no, we didn't have hockey. Um, he happened to get signed to the city's hockey team or like the junior hockey team, and so they signed him up for this school because this school was fine with him leaving class to practice and shit.
Ah,
Because
I did.
this school like that high school worked for me and for a lot of other people as well, just because they're very relaxed in shit, like, you should still go to class and stuff like that, but like if you need to be somewhere and you make that clear to the homeroom teacher and the teacher is teaching the class, like if you need to go and leave for work or something, as long as you're up to date on where the class is, it's fine. So
Did, did I ever tell you guys when I signed up for my year at public high school in North Carolina, my senior year, and one of the classes I saw in the big list
oh
was
yeah
Middle East. I always repeat that story because it's just so egregious. Middle East history. Oh, that sounds cool. I'd love to learn more about Middle East history. I'll take this one. No, that one's not actually that. That's for the football team. Just directly fucking telling me. No, you don't actually learn anything in that class. That's just football teams like hidden practice hour. Like I get that schools nowadays make the overwhelming majority of their money from the athletic teams, but Jesus, just being that like upfront about it, I gotta respect the balls.
Terrible.
But yeah, so there was this hockey jock in the class who was a cool dude, and he knew how to drive, which I mean that's not
Immediately makes you a celebrity when your school.
no, not really. No, I mean most people were just like whatever. I mean it was a thing of convenience, but like driving is not as a big thing over here as it is over there, because we can
Well, you live in
walk.
the city, you can just walk.
Yeah.
In the country, you try and walk anywhere. Congrats, you're going to be spending 2 hours out.
Yeah. And
Hope you
so
like corn, motherfucker.
so he was driving home and got a red light, and apparently the person next to him in the other car was this geography teacher, and they looked at each other, and when the freaking light turned green, the hockey player guy, he just started driving normally. The geography teacher started drag racing.
Oh, I love that kind of story.
Yeah. So like
I belly laughed so hard that Discord filtered it out. You guys didn't hear it, but it's going to be super loud on the OBS on the actual recording.
Nice. But yeah, so like it's like these are the small moments where you can figure out, like, even though like he acts like a hard ass in class and stuff like that, that's because he's taking it seriously. Otherwise, he's a cool dude.
I would say he's probably one of those older teachers who wants to be a younger guy.
I don't know. Maybe. There's funny things like that. Like the PE teacher has multiple times said, "I hate kids. I don't know why I hate kids. That's why I became a teacher."
Yeah, there's three different kinds of PE teachers, aren't there?
But the thing is, he's not even an asshole. That's the thing. Like he's actually an alright teacher.
Oh, so he just had a sense of humor on him.
Yeah.
I feel like with PE teachers, you either get the ones who are only there to actually coach the teams and don't give a shit about teaching. You get the ones who are very enthusiastic and especially love to teach the kids who don't know how to exercise, and they're like, "Let's all get physical" and all that. And then you got the third kind, the fucking drill sergeant.
Oh yeah.
And I did tell you guys about the drill sergeant whose class I took and dropped within a week, withdrew and took another class. And then, like a month later, I heard that a couple months later, he got fired because, for one thing, he'd been sexually harassing one of the other teachers. And for another thing, it turned out he had been illegally well, I guess it's not illegally. It doesn't go against any laws, but it goes against the school code. Had been scouting for colleges and trying to get high school. He was trying to get members off the team, the high school team, for the colleges in a way that was, I don't understand how athletics work, but apparently it was really bad.
Ah.
So that was very funny, considering I was just having issues with a guy a couple months before. Vindication!
Yeah, from my first high school, one of the English teachers I had got like it wasn't even a school thing. It was a freaking like a what's the word? Like the actual like the government got involved. I
Oh no.
guess because there's routine checkups that they send people out for on the teachers to make sure that the teachers are not being assholes and not breaking laws and stuff like that. And so one of my English teachers from my first high school got what's the word? Like when they take away the badge from the cops in the movies.
I don't recall, but it does occur to me now that I never said what's coming on the group channel this week.
Nice. Go ahead while I think of the word.
Okay. So, on Monday, February 8th, we have got Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Oh, man.
On Friday, Gary's Mod Part 8. And that's the week.
All right, I figured out the word.
All
So
right.
yeah, yes, suspended. That was the word.
Yep, I was trying to shout that through my microphone. I didn't realize my Discord had dropped.
Oh,
Nice.
I was like, I know that word. Give me the money. But no.
Just imagining Pink frustratedly screaming, "Suspended! Suspended!"
I'm like an old man shouting at the TV playing Jeopardy.
Yeah.
People are getting worried. A dog comes by with a concerned look on its face.
So yeah, she got suspended for apparently throwing keys at kids.
What?
Keys?
Yeah.
What kind of keys? Her own personal keys? Wouldn't you want those back?
I don't know. I mean, she didn't do it when I was there. She was a bad teacher anyway, but like shit.
Yeah. Seems especially violent and also
Yeah.
foolhardy if you're gonna potentially lose your keys.
Yeah.
maybe you should be on the bottom of my concerns with that, but still.
Oh, but anyway, so the reason I even brought all of this up,
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I do. So, so, this shit. I can't stop laughing. Anyway, so the reason this all came up was because I was talking about how I'm slowly figuring out what's making it kind of hard for me to just be okay with myself and stuff like that. And it ties into this whole getting bullied by the teachers and shit like that, because so a word that comes up a lot with stuff like that, because so I don't know how to tackle this because it is words, but so you'll notice that sometimes recently I've been bringing up some like, well, one issue in particular, or one incident in particular, where I was being called names, and not names that necessarily fit me, but names nonetheless. And yeah, so uh how do I transition that in a way that makes sense on recording as well as to YouTube without repeating myself? I don't know. But basically, so a but when I was getting bullied by those teachers in grade school, they were doing their best to basically let me know what word they were trying to use, while also not using it, because then I could sue potentially. which is like they did their best to call me things like call me close enough things to a bundle of sticks. That you could call like an 8-year-old, so that he would even understand. Which, I mean, joke's on them. What if I am? Hey, fuck him. That's my stance on words like that. Like, it's like me making fun of Pink for like having green eyes or something.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah,
Isn't
so
it genetically like super rare?
I think so.
Okay, were
Hey,
you joking
hey,
or are you
Pink.
being honest?
No, I'm being honest. I think it is rare.
Ahem. Hi there.
Yes, Pink. Do you know if your eyes are rare, or are they well done?
When I was trying to speak, but I got cut off again by my lovely Discord, I was saying they should be pretty rare because all my siblings have brown eyes.
Okay, so Pink is a genetic freak, confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah, the numbers, they do not lie.
He's a genetic freak, and he's
All
not
right.
normal.
All right. All right. Now my example makes more sense. Pink, you suck because you have green eyes.
Thank you.
Fellas, is it gay to have green eyes?
Only no, if it's just the tip.
Yeah.
The tip of what? Yes.
Yes.
I love when it gets like increasingly irrelevant. It's, fellas, is it gay to use a fork while eating?
And I also like it when it goes super relevant. Like in K.
I didn't.
That's the whole question. Shit.
Did you just say in gay?
No.
Okay, I've missed it entirely then.
Well, no, I did say I did sort I wanted to start saying the joke, but instead of the joke, I started off with saying gay.
Just gay, flatly.
Yeah.
Just gay? Question mark?
Question. It's a good question there.
You know, if if YouTube didn't dislike certain ways to title videos, I would suggest just gay question mark being the title of this podcast. But
I feel
anyway,
like you could make it a little better and worse at the same time. Instead of writing gay question mark, just write homosex question mark.
yeah. But yeah, what I was trying to say is I also like it when it goes super relevant, and you get questions like, "Fellas, is it gay to fuck another man in the ass and enjoy it?"
Yeah, that
Oh shit!
reminds me of a 4chan thing I saw a while ago. Which, as always with 4chan things that are posted outside of the context of 4chan, because I am not going on 4chan. Fuck that place. But it was one of those classic green text things, and I couldn't tell whether it was being ironic or genuine. I was basically listing off reasons of, logically speaking, since we associate gayness as being associated with femininity, logically speaking, it's gayer to fuck chicks than it is to fuck dudes. And of course, the next poster just very simply said, "Fellas, is it gay to fuck chicks?"
Yes, logically speaking, yes.
Um,
Anyway, so where was I? So yeah,
was the original not "Fellas, is it gay to see"?
I don't
I think
know.
I think that was the original. Some chick posted, "Oh man, I don't like guys with glasses. It's kind of gay, not gonna lie." And then some guy responded with, "Fellas, is it gay to see?"
Yes, can confirm. Can confirm. I'm glasses gay furry.
In order to emphasize my heterosexuality, I'm going to gouge out my own eyeball.
Not your whole eyeballs, just the upper crust.
Oh yeah, the delicious upper crust. I'm having it filled with cheese.
Yes.
Oh.
I gotta cover it in butter before I throw it in the oven. Alternatively, I can throw my eyeballs into the forest like Harry Potter.
I'm just reminded of
What?
a
I
YouTube.
need to watch those movies now. That sounds wild.
You don't remember Pink? We
I've
read
never
that
seen
book.
Harry Potter.
We read that book together, Pink.
It was the fake AI made Harry Potter. Remember, Pink? Where for some reason when it ends, Harry says it says, and Harry then threw his eyeballs into the forest.
I
No,
remember
no,
now.
that wasn't the end. The ending was Harry fell down the stairs for the rest of the summer.
Yeah,
Yes.
Boy, I sure like being a wizard.
Yeah,
I don't care if that one's actually AI made or some guy made it up. It's great either
it's
way.
funny. Yeah.
My favorite part will always just be Dumbledore petting the pig and saying, "You are Hagrid now."
No,
Like the idea that Hagrid's identity can just be transferred to anyone.
Just
Ron
on
couldn't,
a whim.
Ron couldn't help being Spirus. He just was.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, anyway, so yeah, going back to my original thing. So yeah, I've been called that a lot growing up. I guess I don't know.
spiders?
No. Oh,
Hagrid.
yes. No. I nearly said it, but then I was like, oh wait, no.
I mean, there's two that I've accidentally
British
slipped the tongue
cigarettes.
into. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So yeah.
always wonder if it's related to like the fasces, right? That fascism is named for, because that's also a bundle of sticks. Is that like a Latin thing?
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyways, what else is there?
So
Something.
yeah. I'm gonna finish the thought. So I guess I've been called that a lot growing up, and the reason I even went to this whole thing was just to point out, hey, I've been throwing that word out my own head a lot recently, which like why?
For what reason?
I don't know. It's like
I wasn't asking you. It was hypothetical.
yeah, I know, but like it's basically it is the part of me that wants to be normal, like more so than anything else. The part of me that wants to be normal, trying to bully and scare the furry back. Basically, it's trying to freaking to what's the word, electrotherapy or whatever, freaking the thing that they did to gay people, or they may still do.
Depends on where you are.
Electroshock therapy. Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's trying to
Normal
do
is.
that. Yeah.
I was just about to say normal is relative.
But yeah. But like there's an idea of a normal person in my head, and there's who I am, and a lot of time in the past, I don't know, like 7 to 10 years, was spent trying to take the freaking the square peg that is me and put it into the round hole that is the normal person,
Oh, I like to take my pegs and stick them in all kinds of holes.
Oh man.
mainly up my ass.
I like how I got Pink to participate in the Macho Man voice there. All right. What was I going to say? Is your idea of a normal person like just big Bobby Boring in your head? Like smooth SpongeBob? You remember SpongeBob with no holes?
I do, but no, it like my idea of a normal person is like someone who at least appears to be like appears to have a reason to live, like just can do a normal office job which I couldn't do probably. Freaking like it has his shit together, or at least looks like it, and like
Nobody
it
has
isn't
their shit together.
yeah, I know, but like it's just like I deviate a lot from what the way other people, or of the way a lot of other people behave, and so like just lurking around different places and looking at how people behave and how they react and shit, form this guy in my head that is boring, but he gets shit done. He has a reason to exist. Meanwhile, I
You
have
don't
my
have to be boring to get shit done.
well, yeah.
It probably helps.
Yeah,
I
probably.
don't know that it does.
I would not know.
But so
Something tells me you need people skills to get by in life, and boring people do not have people skills.
This is true.
There's a rule in life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Which is why I suck loads of dick.
Oh no.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like to me, boring also means that like okay, I don't know how to put this. Like basically being a chameleon. Like you don't even have a personality of your own. You adapt to the personality that you need, and then that's who you are for like the next, I don't know, like 2 years. while you get
You're not
ahead in life.
describing a normal person. You're describing a sociopath.
Oh, nice. But like I have that idea and some behavior and the behavior associated with it, and because of freaking not being of sound mind completely, I won't say I'm crazy because I'm not. If I were crazy, then I would legitimately think I'm a freaking wolf. Like
Oh,
there's boundaries there. But yeah, like but I accept that I have freaking issues that are in need of sorting out. But like because of those issues is why I spent a lot of time just like because of being bullied for all that time and all that, like that and also me not being completely well just work together to be like, okay, so you have yourself, apparently everybody hates you, so why don't we just try to force you to be someone else who can actually like be accepted. And that part of me that went that way is still trying real hard to be an acceptable product to the outside, or what I perceive to be as such. When like I don't like even I don't get it. Like even consciously, I don't get it, because I mean by the day I see more and more interactions where furries are behaving like normal people and they are treated as such. Nobody I've freaking told about this whole furry thing made a big deal out of it. I'm fine with it, or I'm trying to be, because it makes me feel better. So
a lot of
why?
people
Yeah,
a lot of people. There's also the thing of like, what was I going to say? Hang on,
yeah.
my brain is leaking out of my ears. Guys, help!
All right, I'll send the Mr. Cleanup detail, guys.
Oh no, he's going to eat my flesh!
Set this on his way.
What's Army Hammer doing here? Oh no! Just carry on, because I'm not remembering at all what I was going to go for.
So yeah, like so I don't get why this is a thing, and I need to like figure out a way to shut it out, which I'm starting to get better at. Like the anxiety attacks, or whatever the hell you want to call them, like whenever I get really bad anxiety, I've been able to try and shut it out, or I've been getting better at shutting that out. Thank God. Now it's transformed into headaches, which yes, turns out that's what the headaches are.
Stress headaches, yes.
Yeah, so that's nice. But hey, that's the weird thing though, because I get those headaches whenever I otherwise would have gotten like very bad anxiety before, and sometimes I get both, but whatever. But when I get the headaches, if I pull from my anger, which anger is usually looked at as a negative emotion, like something that you shouldn't really feel, because when you're angry things are bad. But a lot of times I use anger to get strength to get strength from myself. Because
Ah,
I mean it's probably not good, but hey, I have a lot of it pent up. Why don't I?
motivation is inconsistent. Discipline is. That's always the big
Yeah.
difference for me. Motivation is a very fleeting thing. Speaking from experience.
But so the freaking how do I continue? Yeah. So whenever, because okay, I don't think I told think this, and I don't think I said this on recording, but a couple of weeks back, I figured out that technically there, like, not only was I freaking giving myself hard hints about being a furry, But I really should have figured it out like 2 years ago when I stopped listening to a furry artist I started listening to again recently. That I stopped listening to just because he was a furry and I was scared of becoming one. And when I realized that, when I remembered that, I was like, oh, he knew. That part of me knew.
He saw me.
Yes, like I legitimately had that moment in the movies where the people realized that they were lied to and like their eyes bug out and shit. I legitimately had that. I was thinking like freaking getting ready to sleep, and I just woke up full of anger because he knew, and he lied to me. He obscured that fact, and I've been getting like ever since. I've been trying to accept it. I've been happier. So I could have been happier faster. And so whenever I get a freaking headache now, I just get angry, and it goes away. And that's the
It
thing.
goes away.
The headache goes away when I get angry. It got it. I don't know what. Like it makes no sense.
Fucking careful over there, Bruce Banner. Damn.
You don't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Instead of becoming a big green monster, I just become an anthropomorphic wolf.
Oh no. That pretty well is half the werewolf myths, anyways.
Yeah.
Think Pink Discord has killed you.
Shit. Pink's dead.
I knew he wouldn't go without saying anything there.
Darn it. This is the worst.
Yeah, whatever you said about the Hulk, it didn't go on recording.
Just repeat it.
I don't remember.
But
it's always funnier the second time.
Yeah. I just kind of wish it wasn't freaking decided randomly on the way I freaking wake up whether or not I'll actually feel good during the day. Whether I get the whether I get not whether or not I get the message symbol on my back or I can actually be fine and freaking progress. Which, yeah. So
what you're telling me is your life has become a roguelike.
Yes, my life has become a roguelike. Every day I wake up, and somebody got a problem with Hove.
Yeah. All right, let's see what perks they give me on today's run.
So something else I did, aside from freaking turn my life into Enter the Gungeon,
yeah,
was I did once again redesign my persona.
Oh,
it's a small redesign, but it's a redesign nonetheless. So it's been bothering me that like when I drew, okay, that also needs some backstory shit. So
what? Yeah, you're telling me it's a small redesign. I don't know what's different.
I mean,
I see the face. The face. I see the face. Yeah.
Yeah. So, backstory. I think this is something only Soon knows so far because he's the only one who's asked. When I told him that I'm a furry, he was like, "Oh, cool. So, what are you, and why?" Which, hey, I mean, it's better than what I expected. So I won't complain.
Soon has calmed down a lot since he started dating that girl.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he also has furry friends. So.
Oh no!
Like other than me.
I don't want to know what happens in Boston. What happens in Boston stays in Boston.
Tea parties, that's what happens.
Yeah. I was worried about like furry thugs taking you out in the car park.
There's a furry mafia out there.
Oh no. Oh, whoa, we're going to break your fucking legs.
No, we're going to break your legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so When actually the reason this whole like I actually did give some thought this whole to this whole thing when I first put like asked y'all about whether or not y'all think I'm a furry, because like the way you know that I didn't know is that I didn't joke about it, because when I know about something, I either don't reveal it, or if I do, then I do it in a jokey manner, which is like I think how I did the whole asexual thing as well. Whenever it came up and could be used as a joke, but yeah. But I was genuinely so confused that I was like, you know what? No jokes. I'm just gonna ask them because I don't freaking know. But going into that podcast, I was already going like, okay, so we need to make plans for either way they go. And I was like, okay, well, persona, what would I even make it? And so I just made like a small list of the animals that I like, which is probably longer than you think, but not really long. And then I made a list of like I tried to make it at least smaller with each thing. Like I before I actually started drawing shit, I tried to make it shorter, so you know I don't have to choose between different like completely different animal types, because there were three different groups, I guess. Because I thought about birds, because I
I was
like
about to say
raven.
I was about
Yeah.
to say I'm surprised you didn't go with owl.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I was going for birds. I thought about owls, ravens, and crows, which my mom thought that I would be a crow, because yeah. Then obviously I had to go for the one thing that I didn't try to hide, how much I like them, which is dragons, because yeah. And then for the third group, because I guess dragons are its own group. Yeah, whatever. For the third group, I was like, okay, so four-legged animals. So wolves, because like, actually that was the first thing that came to mind, which is probably why I went with that. but that's another thing. But wolves, freaking foxes and raccoons, which worked out funnily, because when soon looked at my current avatar, he thought it was a raccoon. So hey. And I'm saying it worked out funny because I couldn't decide, and there is the thing, both the thing that you said, and actually my middle sister also gave me that advice a couple of years earlier, to if you want to choose between two things or a couple of things, then do a coin flip, and then the thing you're rooting for should be the choice you go with. And so
Yeah, sometimes that is the best way to figure out what you actually want.
yeah.
I use
And
tarot cards because I'm a fucking nut job.
What a nerd.
I use the dark magics, which totally 100% work.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I have definitely not just flipped out a bunch of cards and it's like, yeah, that didn't work that way at all. Interesting.
Yeah, I was
It's
told
almost
that like 12 years ago. Turns out that was
it's
wrong.
it's almost as if it's just a bunch of meaningless symbols that we attach some ideas to. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's funny though. So since I'm a gypsy, some of that stuff is part of my culture, and I do actually like know one thing about palm readings. So I
Hey,
literally
between you and me, we've got one whole fortune teller.
yes. Now we just need to source the woman part.
Yeah. Will you be like the fucking Wizard of Oz, like behind the curtain?
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Do not pull back the veil. Oh shit.
So yeah. So I tried, this deciding between the like after I made that list, I was like, okay, let's go through the meanings and see which one of them resembles the way I see myself. Which, I mean, most of them didn't fit. I mean, like crows and ravens are usually seen as like intelligent. So no, owls and dragons are seen as wise. So those also had to go. Uh, foxes and raccoons are usually like trickster type animals that steal. So I was like, okay, maybe, but at the same time, it would be a bit funny for a gypsy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I don't really like that, but you know, and wolves. I mean, I don't know, ferocious. Like with wolves, I took like their freaking their literary um use, or how I see them usually, which is to like basically represent an insatiable hunger. I'm forgetting the freaking name of the sin. Gluttony.
Gluttony?
Yeah. Like basically, wolves are usually gluttons. I don't know why. That's just the way I see them.
Because they used
Like,
to steal lots of people's chickens back in the day, and that's pretty much
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You steal food from me? Clearly, you must be a sinful glutton. I eat for survival. Everyone else eats because they're a fat pig, god damn it!
Yeah.
Leave it all for me!
But yeah, so like that, and I mean, there's other stuff like, you know, I can work in a team, but I'm better alone, and that's the whole lone wolf thing and shit like that. But like that's edgy stuff. And, like as edgy as I can get, and as edgy as some of the shit I say comes off, probably. I try not to be sometimes, you know. But yeah, so that's actually I think I even left, or I don't know if it got picked up on the mic, but I remember laughing when you said, "Oh," when I asked the question, you were like, "Oh well, wolves are cool." I laughed about that because that was the closest thing to me as well. But even then, I went into actually drawing the thing, saying, "Okay, well, I don't know which one I want, but I know that I want something from the third group, which was wolves, freaking raccoons, and foxes." And it's really hard not to keep calling foxes and raccoons their Japanese names for some reason.
Because you've been playing so much Ghost of Tsushima lately?
Yeah. You know, I just needed to choose between Okami, Tanuki, and Kitsune. You know.
I'm sorry, Okami?
Yeah, Okami
Oh,
is the
okay,
Japanese.
Okami are wolves.
Yeah.
My brain left out the O, and I was like, oh yeah, my persona. God.
Yeah.
I put on a big beard and a toga, and that's my animal I identify with. And I just throw these like plastic lightning bolts at people. That's what I do.
I was about to say, look, if your persona is Zeus, you're technically there.
Yeah. No. Zeus himself had a persona. Come on, guys. He had a swan.
No, he wasn't
Very true.
anthropomorphic.
He had several. Well, imagine redoing the Greek myth, but instead of actually turning into a swan, Zeus just like puts on a really shitty swan costume and shakes it.
I don't know what's better, that or imagining Loki putting on a horse costume.
Well, no, Loki just leaves a wooden stand up of a fucking cardboard cutout of a horse with a hole on it.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh man.
Loki uses shadow clone jutsu to clone himself, and then morphs into the two halves of the horse.
This is curse. Much curse. Anything involving Zeus and Loki is going to turn into curse.
Oh. Hey, that would explain why Thor and Hades keep showing up. Or not Hades, Ares.
Ares! God damn it! Stop bringing bestiality into this, Ares.
Oh shit.
That would
Anyway,
have changed God of War if they included all that business.
yeah.
Ares is the only Greek god who doesn't fuck animals.
Kratos gets you get the sex mini game from 2 or whichever one that was, but it's with geese.
So this is why the Greek gods wanted Kratos to kill Ares.
Yeah, because he wasn't part of the clique.
Yeah.
Ares had to go. He thought that something was wrong with fucking animals.
We can't handle Ares' judgment anymore. Get rid of him. Oh, shit.
Shit. Yeah. So anyway, even when I started drawing shit, I wasn't sure, which is why it had the color scheme it had for so long. But now that I like even once I just zoomed out and saw the first version of my first zone, I was like, okay, well that's a wolf though. Like it has other elements. It has elements from the other two, kind of, but like not enough to make it a separate thing. And so now with the new design, I was like, oh, because it's been bothering me that the snout didn't look quite right with it being half black and half white. So I was like, okay, well, why not just make it like an actual wolf then? At this point. Ah. Oh yeah, one last thing concerning this whole thing. So I have said in in text how usually the way I determine attractiveness, or the way I determine whether or not someone's body is attractive is just by visiting like my data archives from when people show me people that they find attractive, and I go okay.
That is not the way to do it.
I mean,
That is not.
it's either that or I don't. Like,
Look, 20 years ago, if you were trying to go off of what was popular, the idea of what it makes sexiness is anorexia. You
true.
know?
Yeah.
Well, what a horrible
Critics are
time
very,
to be
very wrong with
alive.
that one.
What'd you say, Pink?
I said critics were very, very wrong with that one.
Yeah, you and me spoke at the same time. I said, what a horrible time to be alive.
I was on the pink train before it was cool.
Oh, man. I came of age right at the perfect time for that. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, because I don't feel freaking body attraction or whatever the hell, because that part of me it was left unwired.
You make it sound like you're a fucking magnet, like you get pulled towards them. Oh no, she's hot, and you just start floating or like fucking ice skating towards her.
That's how the sex works. That doesn't it first your distance because of her opposing polarity of her vagina, and then you basically insert it.
That makes too much sense.
And then the child just appears.
Yeah.
Damn it! When I was a kid, I thought you peed in the butthole. Oh, now I'm confused.
Fucking magnets, how do they work? That has too many good meanings now.
Working magnets? How do they fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, so because yeah, because I don't see it, I don't have a preference in body types and shit like that, or like because I don't like feel attraction towards bodily features that aren't like man-made, like clothes or hair. Well, people meddled, I guess, with hair, but
I don't know about that, and I don't want to know about that. I don't want nothing to do with that.
but yeah, because of that, I can only like visit the list of things that people have said is hot, and without being ironic, and go, okay, yeah, I guess that fits the definition I've been given. But That's not the case with furry shit because I didn't pay attention to what people liked when it came to furry shit because I didn't want to be one. I just happened to become one. So I've noticed I guess I've been trying to feel in those spaces, and I watched a playthrough of Sly Cooper. I think the first one, and let me tell you, Carmelita exists, and Pink would like her.
Yeah,
Oh, I like the sound of this.
yeah, that's the stuff that created furries. Yep, that's it right there.
She was pretty thick, honestly.
It goes back earlier than that, though. I think that
I mean,
Robin
yeah,
Hood is usually
furries.
credited.
I mean, furries have existed since the 40s, so it goes further even beyond that.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, weren't half the Vikings furries?
I mean, kind of, but like the thing I'm talking about is, I think in the 30s or 40s, one rich guy made a club for his rich asshole friends, and he was like, "Hey, aren't anthropomorphic fox women cool? Don't you want to fuck him? Here's a magazine full of them." So, not only have furries been around since the 40s, but so has furry porn.
Well, someone must have been having ideas.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Carmelita Pink.
Oh God.
Oh heck yeah! Sign me up.
Oh, for God's sakes. Anyways,
Yeah,
quickly, let's move on.
but even better is I saw freaking a clip of a show that I have not heard before called Hell of a Boss, and Hell of a Boss features a character, and I don't know how to freaking. Okay, let's hope I don't find furry porn.
Oh no.
The prayer we all say when we do a Google search.
Yeah.
You have to invoke the rights. Oh God.
Oh no! Look at all this furry porn that I'm definitely not saving for later.
Oh God.
So yeah, like you know, Carmelita's nice, but but I saw this one clip from that show, and it was a clip
Okay,
featuring
wait.
this character. Yeah,
Before we move on, I need you to jog my memory. Is Carmelita supposed to be French or Spanish?
I don't remember. I think she's supposed to be Hispanic.
Okay, because I
I
remember
would
that
assume so with the name.
that first game they like had a voice actor who was just really terrible with the accent and also not a very good voice actor. In the second game, they just got a voice actor who didn't bother with the accent at all.
Yeah, from what I heard, she had a different voice actor for every game. So yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
That sucker punches tradition. They find a new actress every time.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to reprise the role, nuh-uh, we need to find a new one.
I'll pay you to reprise this role. Nope, sorry, you're out.
Now we gotta find someone new. It's the ritual.
It's just how Carmelita is. That's part of her character. It's in the character sheet.
Yeah. If you take the must be recast every game perk, then you can save 5% on skill points. They're munchkining pretty hard today.
You get 10% more experience.
Yeah.
Every level or every mission. But yeah, so
goddamn munchkins.
I saw this clip from this show called Hell of a Boss that featured this character, and I don't know the relations between the characters because I haven't even heard of the show before, but there was this guy telling this character that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of freaks out there. What's the word? Like basically, that are looking at you funny, basically. And yeah, the writers are right.
Oh boy.
Look,
That look of judgment,
yes,
absolute disdain.
You know, there's a
Look.
lot of people who are into that. The look of judgment, I mean.
yeah. Look, I won't say no to freaking to got Wolf GF.
Oh god, my nose.
Nice. Did you get the nosebleed?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you need to hold an anime stick. You're actually on the ground.
I am, just flipping, doing backflips on the ground, prone on the floor, backflips, while blood geysers out of my fucking noses. Nose holes. Good work, brain. It's not wrong, but it still doesn't sound right.
I mean, it's like how in Hungarian we call toes leg fingers.
That is so bad. I hate that so much.
That's all I'm going to call them from now on. Then.
Oh god. Please tell me you are not about to say, look at her leg fingers. Please tell me you are not about to say that. God damn it.
I had to.
I think the fucking neighbors heard that one. That won't raise some questions.
Look at Luna's succulent leg fingers.
Oh god. Damn it. I no longer approve of this furry thing. We have to go back. Go back. I'm mashing the fucking backspace key on my keyboard and it ain't doing it. I want a fucking refund. I have been lied to. My day has been ruined. I need a fucking taco.
Me too. Me too.
A couple days ago, I put out on the forum, Alex needs Mexican food badly. Alex needs Mexican food worsely.
I concur. Hello, I concur.
Anyway.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Well, there goes a lung.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do you think I can sell this lung for extra money on the black market?
I should hope so.
I'm thinking like I could get cocaine and then I could sell that for like a higher investment.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna remove this furry shit now.
And then I could buy Dogecoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Invest in Baldcoin. That's the future.
Baldcoin? What is that?
Yeah. I actually don't know the full thing, but I think it's Jeremy Albertson's like cryptocurrency thing that he started up in like 2015 or something, and then it went under, and he jokes about it still. Because I think he only started up as a joke as well.
What if someone made a cryptocurrency of bison bucks?
I mean, hey.
Anyways, I have to go to the stock exchange. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
What if Capcom made Bison Bucks official?
I would buy one to hang it on my wall.
But the $1 bill has Ono's face on it.
Oh no! No! Why would it not have Bison's face on it? That ruins it!
Bison is on the $100 bill.
Oh no!
No, Bison's on the $1,000 bill.
The inflation here is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's wild, bro.
I want to leave Shadowloo. I want to go home.
They keep showing me furry shit. Why are they doing this?
Fun would do that.
Balrog is in a bull costume again. Help!
Oh no! Wait, that's not M. Bison. That's just an actual bison.
Yeah.
It's angry. All right. So is that the extent of what you've done this week, Addy?
Yes.
I believe that we've been recording for 2.5 hours. I believe that was an hour and a half of it.
Nice. And it like all ends on furry shit.
Oh,
Okay, at least I'm getting more comfortable about it.
at least it's not literally furry shit.
Yeah. I hope you got a lot of money. I shit a lot.
God damn it. Okay, I'm going to. Did either of you guys ever actually listen to that tape?
What?
No.
The infamous, presumably fake Tessa Blancard scat tape.
I think I actually did because I was very intrigued, but it was
Interesting.
also Jim Cornette, so I didn't
Yeah,
buy it.
that's how I heard it.
Yeah. So
And
I assume it wasn't actual.
yeah, that's what Cornette
what
says.
have you.
Cornette says this sounds like bullshit to me. Not literal bullshit. That would be impressive. That would be truly impressive if it sounds like bullshit.
Jim Cornette can tell just from the quality of the picture that it is in fact bullshit, and Tessa Blanchard is selling fake shit.
I mean, Jim Cornette with a Kentucky with a Tennessee accent as strong as his, you'd believe that he knows the sound of a bullshitting, right?
Yeah.
No, not even the sound of it. He's looking at a picture and be able to tell it.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
My grandma drowned in a pile of that once. The summer of '49 was a rough time.
But yeah, you were going to say something about the tape.
I wasn't going to say anything about the tape. Just if you haven't heard it, it's hysterical and disgusting.
But yeah, and anyway, you don't have to worry about me bringing the furry shit back up anytime soon, because it's not like y'all post about shit like that. I just found it funny. Like, so sometimes I actually do awkward shit and things that I think would make y'all uncomfortable just because your reactions are good enough.
So you're torturing us, is what you're saying.
Sometimes, yes, to an extent.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Anyways, so I did lots of things this week. In case you weren't satisfied with 2 hours and 50 minutes of recording.
wait, I just realized. Do we technically qualify as 2.5 men? Can we take off the mantle?
No, we can't, because I'm not doing anything involved with Charlie Sheen. Fuck that. Fuck that. Also known as the Sang of Charlie Sheen. I ever tell you guys about the joke Mike cracked while we were playing Dead Rising 2? Where he was complaining about 2.5 Men and saying the show might as well be named Charlie Sheen is sexually active, and he followed that up by saying there should be like a warning for that, a public announcement. Warning: Charlie Sheen is sexually active. It should be, when you get the Amber Alerts on your phone, it should be like that. Like your phone just goes nuts and it's like, warning: Charlie Sheen is sexually active. Be careful. You may be watching from the bushes and you don't even know. Oh, shit.
Oh no, the bushes will get AIDS.
Oh, God. Who's that watching in the rafters with a baseball bat and a trench coat? It's Charlie Sheen.
It's Charlie Sheen with a weird kiss face paint.
The baseball bat also has AIDS.
The baseball bat has a hole. No, a hole that was bore in it on the underside. The underside.
Hopefully, if Charlie Sheen comes down from the rafters, it's more of an Owen Hart case and less of a Sting case. Oh, look, the vest was defective. Oh, no. Whoopsie doodles.
But like, if you were to bore a hole into a baseball bat, stick it on your dick, and then beat people to death with it, would you be criminalized for murder? And how much would the judge left?
I don't know how to answer that.
I've never thought of such a question before.
I think if you sawed a hole that big in a bat, you'd just be sawing it in half unless you did it at the top part. And in which case you'd be bludgeoning someone with the bottom of the bat, which is highly ineffective.
Cut two bats in half. Freaking flex tape them together.
You're making a helicopter propeller out of bats.
Yeah. You attach the two halves of the bats to your dick with flex tape in the middle, and then you spin them and you fly.
Like that fucking webcomic of the guy who gets an erection and shits a massive turd and uses that to fly off into the distance. I assume you guys have never seen that webcomic.
I have not.
I'm becoming a degenerate, and I'm liking it.
Express ticket to hell, please.
Yeah. I mean, that was
have Jesus tell the guy in the cell next to me to beat me to death with a dumbbell.
The express ticket to hell was not in question since we played Sonic Adventure 2, remember?
Yeah. The moment we pissed on the moon, our fates were never in question.
Yeah. We're all going together.
Yeah. we're going to hell by proxy, by association. Oh, Christ. Was I supposed to talk about what I did this week at some point?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think so.
Okay. So, pretty well immediately after the last podcast ended, I tried out Dragon's Dogma, a game that I've owned for about 2 years now and never actually bothered to play. And on one hand, yeah, that's a really interesting RPG with some really interesting ideas. I'd like to see some other RPG take a spin with them, because I didn't get it. It's I won't get too in depth about the combat because I didn't get too in depth, and there could be something there that I just didn't notice, but I just wasn't too terribly invested in it. What I will say is, for one thing, the way the game handles NPCs is really funny because you can talk to every NPC. Every NPC has a name. Every NPC has a few unique lines. And every time I talk to an NPC, I was reminded of the fact of how the game's romance system works. Because you can gift just random shit to people, just about anything seemingly to people, and that increases their opinion of you.
Here, have one singular beat. We're ready now.
It was like even worse than that. Here's a throwing knife. Like, okay. And the final boss battle, the final boss takes whichever character you had the highest relationship value with as his hostage. And when you beat the final boss, apparently that's the romance, right?
Right.
So of course that leads to a lot of people getting to the final boss, and the dragon is like, I took the village blacksmith hostage. Some people gave loads of gifts to the king's jester, just fucking around, and they get there and he's like, I've taken the jester hostage. And it's like, for what reason?
The fiend.
Like, just literally anyone in the game, just some random fucking jobber. A person you run into in the town who doesn't have any quests, any involvement with any of that stuff. Just Bob, who is like, by the way, like, some of the NPCs in this game are like 4 feet tall. And he's got a pot belly and a big mustache, and he's balding. But you thought it'd be funny to give him a pork roll one time. And all of a sudden the dragon kidnaps him, and after you kill the dragon, you give him a pork roll for real. So, yeah, that's an interesting game. What I will say, the game has one gameplay system I want to talk about that is really interesting, the grappling system. So, if it's anything bigger than a human, the grappling system is, like, legitimately, like, you remember Conan Exiles, the climbing system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could do that on just monsters, any monster. And also you can stab the monster while you do it.
Oh.
And the game, on one hand, the game's tutorial is terrible and doesn't explain things properly at all. But they do choose the correct tutorial boss. You fight a chimera, a properly classic styled chimera with a lion's head on the front, a snake's head for a tail, and a goat's head coming out of the back. And each of them has different attacks associated with them, and any of them can be cut off or crippled if you just climb on them and stab them enough times. So it informs a really interesting mechanic of go for the head that you think is the most troublesome for you. And also, there's just something really funny about latching onto the chimera while it jumps around and you're just riding its back. And if you try to grapple something that is human-sized or smaller, then if you grab them from the back or the side, you put them in a fucking full Nelson.
What?
Yeah. Which makes it so that others can just hit them at random. I mean, can just hit them freely, and for double damage guaranteed critical hits or something like that. Or you can put them in such a way that they'll eat projectiles like human meat shield for you. Which is really fun because it's like, oh, I'm fighting a Hydra, and the Hydra's got like 6 goblins with it. So the Hydra starts spitting poison at you. Just pick up a goblin, put them in a full Nelson, and have the goblin eat all the poison.
Fantastic.
And if you grab someone from the front, you pick them up in kind of the shoulder carry position, like you would for a spine buster, right, in wrestling.
Right.
And you can, for a limited time, just run around while you've got an enemy or just anyone hefted on your shoulder. And you get the enemy, and you can just carry him, fucking pick him up and carry him over to a cliffside. Just huck him off the cliff. And it's like, yeah, that goblin would have been a threat if I hadn't thrown him off the side of a fucking mountain. And your character, by the way, Dragon's Dogma has a wonderful character creation system. Your character can be anywhere from 4 feet tall to 9 feet tall.
Whoa.
Oh, you can play as Dimitrescu.
Yeah, and they also have a weight system for how heavy your equipment is, and that changes how heavy of the monsters you can carry. So if you're buck-ass naked, your character is running around with lightweight, which means you can be lifting people in full plate armor and just hefting them around.
Just do suplexes on them.
And so what I found out was, when I went back to the village near the end, I was getting kind of sick of the core gameplay, because the core gameplay is a bit Skyrim-ish, and I'm not big on that. But I found out, oh no, I can grapple my own party members.
Oh.
And I can tell where that'd be useful, because you can obviously use that to put your party members, throw them to places you can't ordinarily jump to, or put them down in a position you want them to stay at. But nonetheless, there was a great deal of humor that arrived from me picking up and throwing around my party members for a little bit. And the great thing was, the game then gave me a notification, hey, you should probably stop suplexing your fucking party members. They don't like that. This is reducing your relationship values with them. And if you reduce the relationship values enough with your party members, they'll start to behave more dickishly in combat and not help you as much.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a video of this game, but that's the thing that set it off, because the video I saw was just a couple of guys messing about with it, and basically it was a video of a tall guy throwing around people of short stature as projectiles.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just wonder, can you pick up your party members and throw them at the monsters?
Oh.
Can you fastball special? Special?
Maybe.
That would be amazing. There's not enough games that have that. Because I did choose to make you get to make one custom party member yourself in custom creation. So I made him 4 feet tall. What if,
Yeah.
What if?
But remember, if you do the festival special, if you miss the festival special too many times, that you won't marry them. Yeah.
God forbid. And here's the really great thing. Once it notified me of that, I was like, okay, you know what? Instead, I should throw around the village people, because I don't really care much if they don't think highly of me. Which, yes, you can pick up and carry any friendly NPC, even the quest givers and the people who are important to the story, which is interesting, let me tell you. And I found one person in the village who was pretty well Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, or Danny DeVito, right? Short, portly, balding, all that.
Yeah.
And I picked him up and started carrying him around the village. It's really funny because you can carry him around for about 10 seconds. All the while they're like flailing. And after 10 seconds, they manage to elbow you in the back of the head and get you to drop them. And all of them will do this, even friendly NPCs. Which makes sense. Of course, they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Drop me.
Yeah.
So I kept carrying the guy around the village for 10 second spurts, and then I'd have to drop him. And then I got a really neat idea. You start out in a fishing village. What if I took the guy and threw him off the docks and see how well he swam, right?
Ooh.
Fun fact. Okay, the fun fact can wait just a second. So I picked the guy up, took him over to the docks, threw him into the water, and it was at this point, after throwing him into the water, I found out, oh, there's no swimming mechanic in Dragon's Dogma. And the explanation for why, you get to see firsthand. It's not just a lore thing. You get to see it firsthand. There's no swimming in Dragon's Dogma because the ocean of Dragon's Dogma is filled with horrible krill leech creatures, horrible swarms of them that will eat you upon entering the water. So I threw this poor guy into the fucking ocean and watched as the water turned red and was bubbling with horrible leeches and krill that ate him alive.
Oh well.
And
Sacrifices had to be made.
Better luck next time.
I was like, well, I guess that's a way to learn that lesson. I was just fucking around, and this poor guy, I threw him in, and he's just like, oh, God! Oh!
And that's when you continue to throw in all the rest of the village. No witnesses.
No witnesses. I don't think anyone even got angry. They're just like, it sucks to be him.
But just to make sure.
Fucking nerd. Fucking getting eaten by krill ass nerd. Okay. What else did I do this week? I also put a good couple runs into Hades. And Hades continues to be really good. Really fun. I am at, one thing I'll say. The difficulty pacing is perhaps a bit too forgiving. I don't know. The game, I kind of wonder if it's like supposed to be a little bit, your first roguelike in a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm on my like 10th or 11th run. I'm used to like Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac, I got like 30 runs into that game. Did not even make it out of the starting areas. I don't think I got past the second layer. So I'm pretty used to roguelikes being brutal. Hades, I am at 12 runs, but at the 10th run, I got all the way to the final boss. I got to Hades himself.
Aha.
I don't know because from what I heard, the game is supposed to be hard-ish. Well, like people are saying that the one guy I watched, which I guess I don't need to call him one guy anymore because I mentioned him already, but freaking Jerma, he beat the game in 11 runs, and people were like, "Holy shit, he actually beat the game in 11 runs." So I don't know, maybe people
apparently I am at Jerma level.
I mean, that's not hard. The dude has ADHD.
Yeah. I didn't beat Hades. Hades did kill me, admittedly. And the 2 runs since, both of which one, I got interrupted by something, and I just was like, all right, well, and I just killed myself in the game. And then this most recent, I did a run right before the podcast, and as I was running out of time, and I saw that like it was getting close to podcast time, I also had Zagreus kill himself. So hey,
Nice.
Game is a lot of fun. There is a lot going on here to appreciate. Visuals and music and gameplay, and it's so tight, and the randomness introduces a lot of variety while still being, still so precise that it feels like you really learn a lot and gain from improving your skills, and there's a lot of technique to it. And there's so many different avenues to explore for building Zagreus up, and there's just so many different options. And the 6 different weapons are not only so different alone, but you can also pick up the Daedalus hammers, and the Daedalus hammers change the weapon so much, and it's like a whole different weapon. And then you fucking unlock all the 6 weapons, and it's like, okay, here's a new mechanic. Put Titan blood on your weapons, and this unlocks a whole new tree of fucking weapon upgrades that offers 4 different avenues for each weapon that also makes them pretty well entirely different weapons. And it's like, holy fucking shit. And here's the thing. There is so much gameplay variety here, and I was really sad when I got to Hades on my 10th run. Because I was like, motherfucker, I've not touched a fraction of this game's content. I don't want to beat it yet. You guys ever run into that with a game?
I definitely have. There have been several games where I've prolonged the inevitable.
Although with Hades specifically, it's a game that sounds nice and all that, but it's a game that I would never enjoy because because of the camera. I hate the isometric view too much.
Yeah, I can understand that. I hate top down.
Yeah.
What was there was something else I wanted to say. One thing I did find really funny is you run through and unlock weapons. You start off the game with access to sword, spear, shield, I think. And then you unlock a bow. All right, makes sense. Gauntlets. I guess that makes sense as a way of simulating hand-to-hand combat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You guys want to guess what the 6th fucking weapon is that you unlock?
Rocket skates.
A gun.
Yeah.
For his Dan or for his side B, Zagreus uses a gun.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, hang on. This is classical Greece we're talking here. What the fuck's a gun doing here? And the game.
Don't come to Hades tomorrow. Zagreus is going to be blessing My Chemical Romance throughout all of Hades.
No. Zagreus does kind of look emo a little bit, honestly. And how they explain it is Hestia, the goddess of fire, Hestia, made it as a tool to fight the Titans, and she retired it pretty well as soon as the Titanomachy ended. And the Greek gods have locked it away because they think it's a very, very horrible thing. And what I found funny is I can't tell if this is just Supergiant saying they think guns are bad or if it's supposed to be a Greece thing. I think it's supposed to be an ancient Greece thing because every character you run into while you're packing it, except Ares and the Fury Megara, are like, yo, guns suck, dude. What are you doing? Use a spear. And at first I thought it was a political thing by Supergiant of saying like, hey, guns are bad, but the more I go through, the more it just seems like it's just kind of a dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow kind of thing going on here. You spit and shield like a coward. No, wait, I fucked that up. Never mind. Anyways, there's a lot I love going on here with a lot of the Greek myth. So Megara is always the villain of the first dungeon. You have to beat her to get past Tartarus. And there's always that worry, though, of like, well, fuck, if I'm going to be making loads of runs for this game, I'm going to be getting past that first dungeon a lot. And I'm going to be fighting Megara a lot. That's probably going to get pretty tiring. So after like having beaten Megara like at least 3 times, the game does something very cute that I like a lot. There's a random chance she'll be replaced by one of her sisters.
Ah.
And I like the way that they handled Tisiphone. Because Tisiphone is the Fury who is specifically devoted to punishing murderers, right, Pink?
I don't recall.
Well, the problem is Zagreus isn't a murderer. He was a god who was born in the realm of Hades and never left the realm of Hades. He's never even been in the realm of the living, so he's never murdered anyone. So Tisiphone is just fucking... Tisiphone is just fucking crazy. And just goes after Zagreus going, murder? Murder! Murder! And Zagreus the entire time is going, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't know. I really like how it just batshit insane some of the stuff is. And the references to Greek myth are cool. Every section of Hades has a friendly NPC that you have a chance to go to his room, and he'll give you one of 3 gifts just for visiting and talking to him. And for Tartarus, it is, of course, Sisyphus. And Sisyphus is just the coolest dude, which isn't a surprise. And the thing I find funny is you collect journal entries from where Achilles basically writes little journal entries to tell Zagreus who everyone is. And Achilles is just straight up like, yeah, most people who are in Tartarus deserve to be there. Sisyphus got fucked. Sisyphus got a raw deal. And the thing I really love, so I've mentioned before that you can give Nectar of the Gods to any of the NPCs, and they'll give you, not only will you increase your friendship level with them, but they'll also give you a little trinket that you can equip before going on a run to provide a different perk, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sisyphus gives you a shattered shackle from him, and when you have that equipped, as long as you don't have any boons from any of the gods, you get plus 50% to all damage.
Cool.
Which, of course, makes sense. Sisyphus, of course, the guy who did not get along with the gods, of course, he gives you a buff for just ignoring the gods. But also, I love that they just had someone at some point had the idea of, what if we just put in an item that makes you stronger if you just ignore a certain certain major gameplay mechanic?
That's incredible.
And you're missing out on so much by not taking god buffs, but it's an interesting idea anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hades is a really good game. It is a very solid competitor with Ghost of Tsushima for Game of 2020. I see why it was such a tough battle between those two. And there were some other candidates, but who cares about those?
Was Cyberpunk one of them?
Yes.
Fuck no, it won't. What?
That's a song I need to show y'all from Cyberpunk. I've been watching a playthrough of Cyberpunk. I've been watching Vinesauce when he play through it because he makes it bearable. Also, Shrimp Lady.
I imagine the Vinesauce guys have many laughs at Cyberpunk's expense.
Not even on its expense. He's actually been defending the game somewhat from people just calling it a glitch fest. Because he's like, he bought it. Vinny bought it for the glitches, but that's why he actually likes the game because he knew that this is what he's gonna get. So he's satisfied with his purchase. Good on him, honestly.
If only you could send a message back in time saying Vinesauce Vinny is going to buy Cyberpunk 2077 only because it is mimetically bad.
All right, is this it?
While you look that up, I will go ahead and I suppose there was only one thing left that I did this week that I can recall based off what Steam says I've done this past week. That's handy. I am.
Yes, this is the song. All right, y'all can check that once we're done.
All right.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a hell of a thumbnail right there. Fuck.
Yep, it is a hell of a thumbnail. The lyrics are also great. I love that song. It's very good. I mean, it kind of sucks though because the lyrics suck ass, but the actual beat is okay for what it's going for. Anyway, continue.
Is it possible for a wife beater to be any lower cut? Damn. Anyways, so it happened a lot quicker than I was expecting. So on Saturday, last podcast, I was like, hey, they're going to start building up Warhammer 3. It looks like they're going to release a teaser every week for 8 weeks until they finally show the trailer. I was wrong. I was super, super wrong. On Monday, they dropped another teaser, and it's like, oh, this is a bit early. Then on Tuesday, they dropped 2 teasers in a single day, and all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, well, light the fires and kick the tires. So on that day, I had to, I've been recording these Warhammer 3 videos where I talk about like speculation of what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So yeah, on Tuesday, I had to just be like, oh fuck, just get them, print them out. Pump them out. I released a string of like 3 of them. And the great thing is that almost all of my speculation in those videos was super wrong.
Nice.
And I am so glad to be wrong, too. In one of the videos 2 months ago, I said, okay, it's gonna be fantasy. It's gonna be Kislev, so fantasy Russians. It's gonna be ogres. It's gonna be evil chaos dwarfs. It's gonna be chaos demons. But I would be happy to eat shit and be wrong here. And I have eaten the shit, and I have been very wrong, and I am very happy. So, Total War Warhammer 3 is not launching with 4 core races like the past 2 Warhammers. It's launching with 6. One race for each of the Chaos Gods, plus Fantasy Russians, Kislev, and Fantasy Chinese, Cathay. Despite the fact that Cathay never got any miniatures or really much lore at all in the original tabletop.
But hey, still no Nippon.
Still know what?
Nippon.
Well, here's the thing, brother. Because let me tell you something. There's going to be a pre-order bonus race pack. The race packs are little $10 things that come with only like 2 or 3 big guys that you can pick, and a roster that's fairly kind of high budget, kind of low budget. Some flashy stuff mixed with some stuff that's recycled assets. And the past times they've done this, that's just how they've done it in the past. And right now, there are only 3 races that are thought to be guaranteed 100% it's happening picks for Total War Warhammer 3. And it is Chaos Dwarfs, like I said, Ogres, like I said, and pretty well Italians and the Spanish. And out of all those 3 are all very high budget armies with several really good picks for who can lead those armies. But if we're going to Warhammer China, one of the big parts of Warhammer China is fucking goddamn Nipponese samurai, get off my coasts. Nippon did have a really ancient army list back in the day, so there's something to go off of. And it needs to be something a little cheaper and a little smaller. And what we know of Nippon is pretty well samurai and Ashigaru and ninjas, but not very many monsters. And monsters are the things that are really expensive to animate for these games. So
they just import Nobunaga's army from freaking from
Shogun 2.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the original Warhammer Nippon army list looks virtually identical to the fucking army list used in Total War Shogun 2.
Nice.
I think all things considered, the possibility of appealing to the Japanese market, especially here, since Ghost of Tsushima may have opened the possibility of Western games getting popular over there. The distinct coolness of having samurai, the ability to flesh out more of the Far East in Warhammer, because the problem is right now, the odds are Cathay is going to be the only thing in Warhammer's Far East at launch if they don't include Nippon. So that'd be a bit awkward if it's just China fighting China itself. Right. There needs to be someone else for them to duke it out with out there, at least until they add the ogres. So between all that and the fact that Creative Assembly got their start by making Total War Shogun 1, I think that it's almost assuredly Nippon. Because, even if we went with the races that didn't have army lists, we went with Ind, which is Warhammer's equivalent of India. Ind is, covered in, oh yeah, they got they got tiger men, and they got 1,000 gods or something like that. They just walk around amongst everyone else. So, to me, it's the only logical choice. And I just get flashbacks now to when we were playing Vermintide, and I told you guys, Well, there is a Warhammer version of China and a Warhammer version of Japan, but they got almost nothing, and we're probably never going to see them, sadly. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And now, all I'm saying is if Vermintide 3 is like, hey, Barden Gorkson now has a samurai career he can pick. Oh, man. And they're saying it's going to be double the size of Warhammer 2's map, which is fucking ridiculous. Oh, man. We are in there. We are in there. Oh, God. It is. I am so ecstatic about everything going on with that. It is just so much goodness. Ah. All right, so I guess that's what I did this week. I believe we can call that a podcast, and good thing because my voice is starting to go out.
All right, nice.
Folks, we will feed the
Bye.
That too.